Welcome in, everybody! It's Sm1lez and TwoTapTony coming at ya with some AEL High School Marble Rivals Term 4. Say no more, we open the door to another day of amazing competition here, and we're stepping right into high gear with this one. It's going to be fun, it's going to be exciting, just like our sponsors. So, a big shout out to AGON by AOC, the #1 gaming monitor brand in the world! AGON by AOC provide best-in-class monitor solutions for gaming and all other needs.
And as well, HyperX, power up your game with the latest HyperX gear at Officeworks. When you need speed, control, and zero distractions, Officeworks has got the tech, discover gaming gear made to handle serious play.
That's it. You love it. And you know what else you love? Indomie, the noodle partner. Made with high-quality flour and selected ingredients and spices. A plate of Indomie mee goreng will certainly brighten up your day. Try any one of the flavors available today from your local grocer or at indomie.com.au. Check them out. Check it in. It's all going to be a great big shout-out to each and every one of our sponsors there. We love each and every one of them. But speaking of what we love high-intensity competition. That is what is going to be in store for us here today. Our teams have been pumping up and really giving it their best through each of our divisions in high school term 4 here. And we get to, you know, get a little taste of exactly what they've been able to do. And as you can see, we're already kicking it off. It's going to be KGSC, Marble Rivals taking on the MC Tassie Devils. So, here we go, Tony. It's into the draft, and the Devil ain't going to be coming out.
Yeah, respect the Devil, Ben. I was going to say, it's Season 5, it's been all the rage, right? It's a lot of Devil prioritization for a lot of these teams, you know, especially playing in the higher divisions and the rank ladders. Daredevil's a very prominent threat. Invisible Woman as well, respecting Ben out of KGSC. We've seen how well a Invisible Woman, or at least a good Invisible Woman, travels through your roster.
That's it, Invisible Woman taking away their high priority strategist on the board there. And speaking of priority strategists, we have the Gambit. It's going to be Raging Royal Flush. Going to rush their way through here and see how they go. Jeff is going to be in the Protect there as well. So it's Jeff has been a pretty high priority ultimate coming out of that strategist. But we'll see what else is going to be in store here. There you go, Groot going to be banned out, so definitely a lot of priority around that Vanguard as well, considering they're able to isolate the fights there, and they're able to do so much more. But now, what's going to be shut out that door? It's another ban.
Another ban, I was going to say Gambit, pretty high prio for a lot of these teams. You know, you can really get aggressive with the ultimate Raging Royal Flush. You know, a lot of teams really run very highly mobile comp with it, right? You can run the Gambit, you can play the Rocket or the Jeff into it and kind of really follow up.
Yeah, looking to follow up and looking to scoop it through, and gonna see the gonna be the Penny Protect coming at you this time. We've seen a lot of prioritization in the rank queues around a ban of Penny, as Penny is I guess another form of the Devil in the rank queues there, so very interesting to see that one being let across in the Protect there with the additional healing coming through this season. We're going to be able to deal a lot of devastation. Speaking of devastation though, we're going to be taking away the Namor, going to be taking away Spider-Man, so no Deep Rat there and no high mobility. Melee-based duelist. Emma Frost will be saving the day though, so they can still focus around that one. And they've got that team up there with the Magneto, so the swords are going to be coming out as well. A bit of explosive entanglement, if you will, onto this one. So, really curious to see which team's really going to be able to find that success there. Ooh, going to play into the Black Widow as well. Okay. Could see a bit of additional healing there, but it's not meant to be. So, unfortunately, we will not be seeing it will go down to there. Well, what we are going to be seeing for now is preparations being laid there here. Wouldn't surprise me if Roger stuck to the rocket here. Okay, maybe not. Yeah, okay. They just wanted to get some additional bits of shielding out initially there. So, looks like they are going to be playing into the team up with Phoenix though. Or not. Guess it's Will, just hard to decide which duelist they want to be. It's going to be maybe Black Panther. Need to see how that goes, but Looks like we are going to be jumping into the fray once again. Hulk coming out. And it's time to get the gates open. It's time to get the banner out. And let's tear it up, Tony. Here we go.
Yeah, it's cool to see Roger going for a little bit of an early hold pick here on the domination. And just on the side of the kill. They're going to be running a little bit more of a mobile comp themselves, as I said, you know, playing into the gambit a little bit better with the magic and the storm as well. They can really bolster a team's offensive capabilities. We'll see AGSC though, triple Vanguard set up here, playing very passively around the corner while Will goes to the dive in the back line, already picking up a KO there on the Hunchback Bird. He's going to get the Magneto bubble to get out for safety. Roger and the rest of KGSC, though, they'll push their foot forward. They'll take some clean KOs here to start off.
Yeah, really great to just make use of the metal bulwark there. They're using that metallic curtain to just really do the best they can for their team. But speaking of, we'll be able to push ahead now, gaining that initial control over the mission area. So very curious to see how the Killer Tassie Devils there will change it up. You know, whether they are going to be able to breach past this triple Vanguard lineup, as it is quite conniving, quite menacing even. With the Penny at the forefront, it's going to be a harsh endeavor to try and slip past that. They're going to have to really approach it from different angles. Speaking of, you know, Penny's already diverting focus there, utilizing Yes It's Will as well. They've already spilt down a couple of KOs, so it's just great to see that it's divide and conquer for the KGSC side here.
Another KO picked up there for Roger, and just bad luck. And we'll see, just the controlling of the space from KGSC, the freedom of movement that they have with the Rocket and Penny team up. You can kind of play a little bit further forward. You can play around these corners with the nests and the mines and such. And kill up. A little bit staggered to some of their approaches here, so 50% now for KGSC. They're still looking to play aggressive here, Matt. Very forward approach here to start off this very important series for them.
That's it, a very important moment, and they've already bypassed halfway point. A big KO on AOB there, looking for more as well. Yes, it's Will, spilling ahead. It's just a physicality, trading blows right now. So just going an absolute slugfest here. It's Jeff comes out, Hunchback Bird trying to slip away, has caught the gambit. Oh no, they won't reach the edge though. So KGSC will be able to pull ahead of that one. Dragon Fury in a difficult space as well. Does come back with the BRB at least, but to see that the Killer aren't going down without a fight, you know, they're managing to slip through some KOs of their own. They're going to do more than that. Ooh, and that's a big moment. Yes, it's Will going down. It really creates a big opening for them, but Rose is still there, so this could still be even worse.
Yeah, this could be a little bit worrisome. As you said, the BRB was already used out. Seal will come from the Rocket. And Loconax able to find the KO onto Yo-Yo B, so it's still looking good here for KGSC. They're standing tall, they're standing pretty poised to take this one. They'll stagger out a few more KOs to close it out here, and overtime will tick down to the full 100 for KGSC. A strong start here on Hell's Heaven.
That's it, the monument has been captured. We're moving on. The frozen airfield now. And we'll see if that confidence is going to shine through twofold here, because KGSC looking almost immortal into that first section of the map here. So, keen, curious to see how things will go, and very eager to see what Yes It's Will is going to be bringing. You know, they played around the BP before. They did go towards that Widow hover into the initial stages there, but I think ultimately probably going to stick to Old Faithful in the Black Panther if it does work out. Speaking of things that might work out though, we've got Mr. Fantastic on the McKillop side now, playing around the thing that definitely could be a way to break past some of this frontline presence from the Vanguards here, considering the thing is very reliable, you know, when it comes to using their fists to break through big walls, if you will, in the Vanguard. So very keen to see them charge through there. I think the clobbering time can come in clutch to kind of destabilize the fight as well here, but we'll see how it plays out in practice right now, as we are heading towards this first fight very soon.
Mission area to unlock pretty quickly as well. Keen to see what Will can do with this Black Widow. Probably trying to kill her out the storm a little bit. Cheesy the noob in a little bit of a menace, dealing a lot of damage from the skies. We'll see Spider Sweep already come out from Locorax, but we'll see in terms of the Omega Hurricane over towards the backline here for the kill up, and that is some good damage Fantastic ultimate as well coming out of Buzzling. But it is going to be KGSC still clearing out this point.
That they are clearing it out, pushing it in. Gatco Lee finds one. Now doubling into it. Their teammates are spilling ahead. What a comeback for the McKillop side here. Only got a Black Willow worry about there. Yes, it's Will. Trying to get a shot through. Ooh, might land one, but the healing just a bit too grand. So gonna have to fall back for a moment longer. They do have at least their ult available. You know, they can play into the Electroplasma Explosion if needed. See if they can gain a bit of space from there. But now McKillop are doing a great job of just holding their ground, not giving in here. But KGSC, they're getting eager to push through this. Hulk already trying to lead the charge there. If they can just catch one straight KO, it could be the opening they need for a ripple effect here.
Just Badlock's been holding on to this Meteor as well, so trying to see what KGSC can really do. Roger, they're going to be the first one to walk it up here. We'll see Raging Royal flush out of Dragon Fury. And the time to go is now, as we'll see Clobbering Time back in answer. We'll see as well the Lunar Ultimate out of Yo-Yo Beast. Everybody's staying healthy. Magneto Meteor M coming out from just Badlock to counteract the Lunar, but isn't able to get the slam still. The KO is coming through for McKillop. Spider Nest not going to do all too much either. Roger down to Bruce mode, and he will be taken by Catcoli. And McKillop, it will be again another Hurricane coming out. Charged up quickly for Cheesy to do on top of the Jeff combo, and the KOs will fly through for McKillop. They'll sweep through KGSC, and they'll capture up to 80% now.
Yeah, what a resurgence from them there, and they're not even playing with a Mantis, so great stuff coming through. Unfortunate for KGSC, you know, the Meteor M didn't work out. I enjoyed the comeback from the kill side as well, where they used the freeze immediately. Looks like the Spider Sweep is coming out right now, trying to utilize some of the mines there to clear some of the upward space. So Sia going to be online as well. That's definitely going to be able to give them a bit more damage, but they've already lost a player here, and the focus is immediately on the Sia. It goes down swiftly. Brainiac bounce coming through as well. Interesting angle there. I suppose that goes to show the use of those tight spaces. They can just keep bouncing over and over again. They are going to be able to secure themselves a triple KO. And with that, the mission area gets locked down. So Hell's Heaven goes one apiece now. And it's down to the Super Soldier Factory to decide who will be our victor here in Map 1.
Yeah, great adaptation here from McKillop. You know, knowing that KGSC are playing into, well, at least at the start of that one, they were playing the triple Vanguard. And you had Roger on the Hulk. You had Loquinax and just Badlock as well playing those Vanguards. You can kind of play Fantastic like a pseudo Vanguard, but dishes out a little bit more damage as well. Swapping up to the Luna, using that Fate of Both Worlds to really stabilize that initial second fight that came through. McKillop playing that one well as well. Choosing a noob with some great Hurricanes. Very much liking what we're seeing out of McKillop here. We're now going to see some adaptation from KGSC. It's a little bit heavy to the dive now. We'll see the Bucky, and we'll see now the Captain America for Roger.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3,
Yeah, that they will. And
1.
see what else they are going to be able to do here. As going to be jumping into the next unlock right now. It's time to zone it out like your TwoTapTony. Get the KOs through and see if they are going to be able to do just that right now. The focus up front is going to be Roger playing around on the back here. Trying to slip around the back. Yes, it's Will in a bit of trouble. Needs to fall back to the egg there. Roger's gone down as well. So McKillop will be able to storm the front of this one, but luckily they got the BRB. Roger can just jump straight back in and try and see if they can disrupt the mission area, but with Clobbering Time, they might just be able to power through it. Dragon Fury's going down. They are continuing to press the issue here. Oh, what a stoppage as well, but they will lose Capco Lee there. Control has been gained. Fate of Both Worlds definitely can keep the tides of this fight in their favor despite losing a member. They keep pushing up. Raging Royal Flush as well, Tony. They're trying to rush it out, but here comes the Hurricane, and it pops!
And Hurricane with Hunchback on top of it. The Jeff Storm combination here from Cheesy the Noob to find a quick double KO. Now look for Roger. He'll just try to storm the point percentage, but of course it's already been capped by McKillop here. And that is a combo for the ages there. A valiant effort from KGSC, but they couldn't get on. Strong KOs that came through initially from McKillop, but it just continues to look better for them. They'll break the BRB. Pat Coley will fall back, and now for KGSC, they're going to have to expend a few of their ultimates just to try and get back on towards this point.
That's it. Yeah, pushing towards the point there. Triple ult down here. Kraken Impact's going to be able to make their mark here. Light it up and mop it down. They are trying to zone their way through. The ticks will be reset though. No more. Well, he's going again, but they will be able to take control of the mission area again. So, once again, to find themselves on top of things and will gain a bit of control. Kill it. Being caught in a bad way, but they at least have their way slowly but surely towards 5 ults very, very soon. If they get caught here, though, it could be a problem. Luckily, the Bionic does not connect, and they have to fall back, but they've lost the Storm. This is big for KGSC. They're getting more and more KOs just by standing in place. Brainiac Bounce, though, could help them. The Freedom Charge is going to barge through.
Yeah, Roger's like, you know what, you can Brainiac Bounce all you want when I can just charge on through with the freedom of movement that Freedom Charge gives. Roger just continuing to walk up on this front line while everybody else dishes out the damage. Perfectly played there for KGSC, perfectly counted. I was going to say an interesting Brainiac Bounce there from Buzzling Boozer. It doesn't quite hit its mark. We'll see again another Hurricane being thought about for Cheesy the Noob, but everybody stacked on top here. Raging Royal Flush thought about by Dragon Fury for a second. He will decide to pop it. We'll see once again that Hurricane not doing a whole lot this time around. It doesn't really have the impact that McKillop probably would, but as I say, that double KO comes through. KGSC are now scattered on this approach.
Overcommitting there as well. Yes, it's Will going to be in a bit of trouble. Meteor, boom, round the back. They caught Jeff. Okay, at least they got one strategist out of it. Clobbering time up top. They do catch, just bad luck. That's just bad luck. But now, McKillop back on top of things. KGSC forced to reset gear time. Not on their side. They are pretty close to the CR. Do have the Raging Royal Flush as well. So might be able to win a Battle of Strategies Ultimates because McKillop, they have none right now. And here you go. They're already pumping it up. A Spider Sweep coming out as well. The Loquax trying their best to sweep ahead onto the mission area right now. Get some KOs through for their team. And there it comes. Tsunami all over the mission area right now. They go down in a blaze of glory. And it will be control regained by KGSC.
That's perfectly put, right? You don't need the Jeff to bring the Storm here, it would seem, for KGSC. Just one immediate pop there onto the Raging Royal Flush. And, of course, the Spider Sweep as well from Loquax. It's hard to deal, right, for McKillop, because they only really have one Vanguard at their disposal. They don't have a lot to soak up all the damage, so they can kind of just charge through. Edible Hookhouse now with the Silence, so that's going to try and draw KGSC out into the open, into a vulnerable position. Buzzling Bruiser as well with the fantastic ultimate, trying to get something back for Freedom Charge. We'll see as well the Hurricane come through at probably the crucial time for McKillop as they'll clean sweep another double here for Cheesy the Noob. And they're looking to capture this point back. It's a triple for Cheesy the Noob, looking for the Quadra, and they will find it. Cheesy the Noob sweeping aside KGSC. And this final mark, it's the Pensa. Make it the Quadra, maybe. But no Hexa. It's going to be Cat Coley and McKillop claiming Hell's Heaven.
You feel the impact of that strange band there as well. They aren't able to teleport back onto the mission area. They go down, and they go down swinging. So map number 1 now going to be secured by McKillop, and unsurprisingly, GC the Noob on the MVP there. Those Omega Hurricanes into the Jeff NATO came in clutch so many times. You know, they managed to really destabilize the fight, swoop away the momentum from a KGSC there, and they did such a great job. So, very well played by them there, but pretty well played by KGSC as well. You know, I think they definitely found a moment of impact when it counted there. I was really impressed by what both sides were able to bring, but we'll see what they are going to be able to bring into map 2 as well very soon. I reckon this could be quite the tight endeavor, Tone.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I was going to say a lot of great adaptations for both sides, right? McKillop, just when they needed most, they brought out the Storm. They played a little bit more faster pace into KGSC that were looking to play fast as well. We saw a lot of Gambit ultimates into the Spider Sweeps that just felt like KGSC wanted to play aggressive, play up in their face. Roger as well, swapping to the Captain America was I guess a keynote as well in that style that KGSC wanted to bring, but McKillop, they had some strong answers, and I was going to say Cheesy the Noob, well-deserved MVP there with that Storm, with that Jeff team-up. It just paid off so many times there, finding a Mega Hurricanes that you thought wouldn't quite hit their marks, but they were just able to sneak through, find a quick KO or two, and really swing that fight into McKillop's favor.
Yeah, they did such a great job of just swooping it back. You know, it was great to see KGSC find their mark when they made it, but the adaptation from McKillop was certainly super duper impressive. But now it's time for both teams to redeem themselves onto the convoy section of our endeavors. We are going to Yggdrasil Path for our next map here. It's all been set in stone. Get keen to zone into that one. It is going to be good. It's going to be great even. And thinking on a map like Yggdrasil Path, right, you saw that triple Vanguard setup coming at you from the KGSC side, and normally you'd find a lot more strength from that triple Vanguard into maps like that, you know, into convoy and convergence type maps there. So I think especially towards that first choke point of Yggdrasil Path, we're going to see a lot of stagger potential there, a lot of stall potential from KGSC whenever they're on the defensive side. So very keen to see how that all plays out.
Yeah, it should be interesting, as you alluded to, the triple Vanguard, but as well they've been playing into the Rocket and the Penny, so it should be a pretty good hold if KGSC start the defense side, and I believe they will. So look probably towards the prioritization there for the Penny and Rocket for them. For McKillop, though, I was going to say, as you said, that Strange Band came in a big way in that last map. So I imagine, McKillop probably want to stay with that focus. They will take away Will's Black Panther. A very hard thing to deal with if you're a team like KGSC, where you're playing triple Vanguard. You don't have as much heal capability, I guess, because your front line is probably playing a little bit more aggressively. And we'll see a Jeff ban here from the side of KGSC. They don't want to have to deal with that team up again.
No, don't want to deal with any Jeff NATO, and they are going to be able to get the Protect out on the Groot. So definitely excited for what Groot can bring to a map like this one, because Groot, one of the strongest Vanguards in the game at the moment, I'd say. There's a lot of potential around him. You can really zone out the fights and nullify some of the impacts of something like a Gambit and other things alike. But all the meanwhile, Namor is going to be protected as well. So we could see semblance of the Deep Wrath team up there, or just the Squids, but immediate reaction. Penny is going to be swept away there, so they do not want to deal with those mines ever again. So they won't be able to play into that strategy this time, Tony. They're going to have to rethink their approach here.
Yeah, they're going to have to change it up a little bit. They'll see the Namor lock there for McKillop. They'll take away the Heller, respectively, here from KGSC. And what do we see also look towards? I was going to say, with the Groot, they could probably play into the Mantis Groot team up a little bit. We haven't seen all too much Mantis play, I was going to say, here in the high school. It feels like, not too many of these guys are probably too familiar with Mantis. But, yeah, I was going to say, interesting to see that McKillop immediately realized what went wrong for them. It was a lot of annoyance about the Penny. It was a lot of annoyance about the Black Panther. They'll lock the Lunar Snow. Respectable one. Yo-Yo B playing that one pretty well in that last game. So, lock to Luna, ban away Daredevil. McKillop, I was going to say, this is a strong pick and ban from them.
Yeah, they've been pretty solid. I love the adaptation into this one. They're really showcasing they don't want to deal with those strengths there. And it's kind of amusing that the first bans of the last draft phase are now the last bans of this draft phase. So, no DD, no Invisible Woman, no worries. But what we are seeing is a change up in the hero picks immediately. So, we got potentially an Adam coming through there. That could be exciting, I think, if they choose to play around it. Magic also potentially doing the rounds here. So, there's a few different bits and pieces which are changing. But very eager to see how the Strange goes for the McKillop side here. I think that, yeah, they definitely have a lot of impacts that they can bring around that one. But see how things come out in reality here.
30 seconds
both
before
these
you
teams
attack.
prep themselves up for battle. But speaking of battle, seeing Roger playing into the Adam Warlock here, I can definitely respect expected, considering they can split the damage a bit, especially with that soul bond. But do you feel like the healing is going to be enough here to keep them in place, Tone?
I worry for KGSC, especially their backline, because you're playing into the Strange and Magic team up here, all of a sudden McKillop, and yeah, it's an interesting one. I was gonna say Roger's gonna have to position super well here to keep KGSC healthy, but also dish out a lot of damage that we can also see with those right clicks charged up from the Adam. As we'll already see McKillop, they'll try to take up some space. Buzzling moves up on the high ground for the moment, while the rest of the team that play on the low. AOC the Noodle can offer a lot of front-end pressure as well with these squids, with his Vanguards really charging up this back line. For the side of KGSC, though, it's a quick KO from Will onto Kakoli. Look at Buzzling Boozer in the background. They're very present of what is this Magic and Strange team up.
That's it, the chain's coming out, and they do not want to deal with them whatsoever. Picking off. A big impact up front from, yes, it's Will and Co here. Having access to the squids, it really does enable other points of contacts that the McKillop side have to consider here. You know, they have to shut down those squids, otherwise they're going to be getting damaged through basically for free there. So we have to take that into consideration. Speaking of, though, I love the Wolverine coming out here. Raging Royal Flush, rushing them up front now. Cheese and Noob ready, waiting. Let's catch them in place. Big hug as well. Strangling Prison into the Horde of Proteus, trying to destabilize. It does not work at all. Raging Royal Flush, maybe too little too late, but they haven't shut the gate on it yet. Roger's back, and now looking to stack things up on the counter-attack here. Oh, they got caught in place, though. Wolverine being a menace once again, trying to cleave their way through. Have managed to get at least a bit of pressure onto this corner, but now they're looking to make movement here, Tony. This card getting further and further along.
Mission vehicle moving. Able Bukas looking for this Strange ultimate. The Eye of Agamotto being held very, very cautiously. I have to give credit to Edible, right? We saw it a lot in that last one on Domination, very much holding on to that ultimate when it's needed. Most Soul Resurgence will come out here to bring everybody back to play. The Loquinax and Just Bad Luck now back in the mix. We'll see Magic Ultimate come out, and they'll dive onto Yo-Yo B. Sorry, that's Midham in that backline getting taken out by Buzzling Bruiser again. That Strange Ultimate is still up. It could be good at a crucial moment. McKillop is still winning out this fight without the need of it. Loquinax will fall very, very shortly there. A lot of damage coming out from McKillop's front line. They're still holding this mission vehicle for the moment. It takes the Kidnap to do it. Raging Royal Flush out of Yo-Yo B as they look to charge now, and they'll try and take him out. Meteor M doesn't quite hit it. Smart Trader both wells here for Midham to stabilize this fight and try and stall this percentage of the mission vehicle from pushing. But once again, the killer, it's so much front-end damage that the side of KGSC can't deal with.
Yeah, they don't know how to get past it here. They did a pretty good job of stalling out as long as they did, but ultimately they will get past and build themselves up a bit more time now to push towards the second capture point here, the second objective. And if they aren't going to be able to have a bit more success, a bit more flexible time to go towards the next objective. Yeah, as they're pushing it up, eating their way out, biding their time even. AGSC wanting the same. Trying to throw the jams there, trying to see if they can make something happen in the Raging Royal Flush now, looking to make them rush up front. A Meteor M coming out here, Catco Lee trying to break it around the back. Boom! And they catch Dragon Fury, and we'll be able to shut down one of the strategists there. That's going to put a lot more pressure on Roger, on Midhams here. They're already taking so much damage. Yo-Yo B bringing out the Raging Royal Flush of their own, and now they counter that momentum, send it straight back in their faces, and send them right back to their spawn point.
Yeah, beautiful patience there from the side of McKillop, right? Waiting out that Raging Royal Flush. It was a great Meteor as well from Cat Coley. Fully charged up, I believe, like a fraction of a second off of losing that one. And it was a great slam. It shut down KGSC's momentum there because they took away the Gambit. And took away a lot of the healing capabilities here for KGSC. They'll swap up some picks now. We'll see Roger over to the Cloak and Dagger because the healing output hasn't been the best from that Adam. And we'll see McKillop continue to push this mission vehicle forward. We'll see Strangling Prison out of Loquinax to group everybody up, but they're pretty healthy. And they've got Hunchback popping in this Fate of both worlds so they can continue to aggress off of it.
Yeah, looking to progress off of it, build more and more space for themselves, and it just continues to force KGSC to backpedal here. They need something to destabilize this frontward pressure. They need to find a stray KO or so, or the Proteus could help with that, but no! They don't catch it! Agamotto up front as well, last stand, everything's coming at you right now! Oh my days! It's an absolute bloodbath on the mission vehicle here. Incredible stuff. They will be able to push through. One more fight could be all they have here. They have Eternal Bond, Meteor M, and maybe a couple more strat ults if they get to them. And here we go. Here's the Meteor, and they catch the Luna!
The Luna taken out. Beautiful snipe there. Raging Royal Flash, but we'll see Meteor back in return here from KGSC. They're trying to find the cloak. There goes the Eternal Bond from Roger, and we'll see McKillop once again. They'll charge forward with the magic, with the front end pressure of this Wolverine, and they'll push everybody off the mission vehicle. Will up on the high ground, trying to stall it out. Last stand once again from Cheesy the Noob. They will capture the mission vehicle, and they'll push it forward. And 1.7 meters there left to go, but Will's able to stagger. We'll see Raging Royal Flush. We'll see Fader. Both Wells not able to touch, though. KGSC Will forced to surrender that one over to McKillop.
Big commitment on the ultimates there on the KGSC side, but unfortunately they were not able to contest into the mission area, so that is going to be a full push coming out from the McKillop side now. KGSC wants to reconsider their options. They're going to have to bring out a very impressive offense onto this one. They want to even have a chance to play for OT here, but see how McKillop approaches it, you know, whether they make any changes, whether they keep things as they are, as they have found a successful first portion of this map. Now they got so much more to do, and AGSC, they're making change of their own, you know, they got the Mantis out now for a bit of a change, the Thor, so we're gonna strike at a different pace here.
Yeah, I was expecting them to play into that potential, right, with the fact that I've been playing with the Groot a little bit on this convoy map, but for McKillop, they're not really changing all too much, right? But if it ain't broke, don't fix. Guzzling Boozer with this magic. I was gonna say, it hasn't really find all the KOs right from McKillop, but it's just that back-end pressure that the Magic's able to offer really forces him and as well the rest of the strategist line from KGSC to play a little bit more safer and a little bit more wary of their positioning, and then that kind of like draws their focus away from the fight at hand. For McKillop now, onto the defense, KGSC attack and see what they can bring to the table. Roger back on towards the Hulk. I kind of like that for KGSC. It was a very strong pick for them on domination. We'll see Puzzling Boozer go for a little bit of a dive, able to fall back though with the safety of the magic movement. And as well, the heals from Yo-Yo Beat keeping everybody safe and healthy at the moment for the side of McKillop.
Yeah, they are keeping them safe and healthy, keeping them good. But KGSC are breaking through already, doubling down, looking to find even more. They will, staggering out these KOs one after the other. The poor Luna is sent back in. So that is going to be a very swift and impressive first to fight here. The Tassie Devils, though, might be looking to make a bit of portal combat, or they walk it up. They've still got a bit of flexibility, Tony. And here we go. They're leading the charge up front, ready to push their way in. But they are getting caught in place into a small choke point there. Not contesting the mission vehicle. They need to get on now, and they will. 1.71, strangling prison straight out of it. No one down yet. Now it all changes. And just like that, a delayed Raging Royal Flush, trying their best to just stall things out on the mission vehicle. But it's not enough. They will be obliterated. And that is the first capture point taken away by KGSC.
Yeah, I'm really starting to like... I was going to say it's a little bit of a pick comp, right? You've got Mantis Groot that can really isolate targets and cut off lines of sight. McKillop playing heavily into the line of sight. Strategists that they've got, Luna and Gambit, really require you to be able to see your teammates to heal them. So this is a strong read from KGSC, and you can see why it's paying off. Great kidnap though from Cheesy the Noob. Will be able to find well, and the fight rage is on here. Cheesy the Noob able to get away to safety. They will be able to pop the fate of both worlds here, and they'll walk it up. We'll see undefeatable here from Dragon Fury as they are trying to find it, but it's immediately taken out. Buzzling Booster with this magic is now starting to come online and feel unleashed with a double. They'll send the Vanguards packing. KGSC have to back off here. McKillop bounce back in a big way.
That's it. Really well done. You know, they pushed past the Soul Resurgence from Dragon Fury there, and they managed to hold it on firmly to their defensive position here. So, AGSC going to have to work a bit harder. They want to break up past this one. In terms of the Battle of the Ults, AGSC, I'd say, are ahead right now. So, might be able to use that to their advantage very soon. Striking with Prison already up front there. Cracking impact right the way through. Fate of both worlds as well. Meteor coming out. Raging Royal Flush. Everything is dishing in. They've already got one. Looking for more. They will be able to get it. Nicely done. But Killer back on the comeback again. Roger, though, not giving up, not giving in. Got a Thunder coming out as well. Just bad luck. Manages to tuck them away. Slow and steady. Spins the race. They will be able to pace this one through. But they're looking to slow it down now. The fight's not over yet. It's only just getting started.
Yeah, it just continues. Cheesy the Noob allowed to just kind of walk freely, roam around with this Wolverine. We'll gets him caught out of position there, but we'll be able to walk back to healing hands. And of course, I have to give credit to Yo-Yo being that fight as well. That bridge boost came in perfectly to keep McKillop healthy. The remaining members of McKillop healthy. You saw Pat Golly and Cheesy the Noob were quite low. Pat Golly able to buy local access. You can see the KGC still under threat and under fire here. We'll see Soul Resurgence come out of Dragon Fury. They'll try to walk it up here. But of course, McKillop, they've taken out Cheesy the Noob, or they've lost Cheesy the Noob in the process. The Gambit Ultimate came out as well from Yo-Yo B to try and stabilize here. We'll see Edible Bookers find that first pick, and we won't see that Bucky Ultimate hit its mark.
Complete denial there, and they will be able to take control once again here. AGSC struggling to push past this section right now. McKillop are just on top of things in every single way, and the captures are just so sweet. Fate of both worlds comes out from McKillop as well. They're desperately trying to scrub past. They do have the Dark Child as well here, and they are capturing many a KO for their team. Bigger damage going in an even bigger way. Crude in big trouble. They scrub past again. They're not giving up. They just keep going, Tony. They have a quad KO. Their team's now backing them up. They're looking to go for the complete wipe up here. But it's the confidence, the commitment like that, that's going to allow them to stall so much time here.
Yeah, I was going to say juggling cooldowns as well. Super well for Buzzling Boozer. It's just a strong fight and strong presence once again from the side of McKillop. They will pop the Raging Royal Flush. They don't have to walk up necessarily. This is just an ultimate to really show NGSC that they need to be feared. They need to be worried about this McKillop side right now. We'll see Cheesy the Noob back in the fray. He'll take out the Bruce. And it's the last stand available. We'll see Bucky Ultimate into the strangling Prison, into the Soul Resurgence. KGSC are popping everything, trying to find a quick KO to get that reset going. Well, we'll find one onto Yo-Yo B. Can't quite find Buzzling Boozer, able to avoid that reset potential. But Buzzling Boozer is on the run. We'll see Eye of Agamotto in the backline, exploding with the Maelstrom from Edible. And once again, McKillop find their fight, and they stall the time once again.
Again, they will be able to buy it even more time for themselves. Only 40 seconds to go now after such a confident start. KGSC have fallen apart. McKillop taking it down to potentially one more fight here. We'll see how it all progresses, how it all fares. You know, KGSC still playing into that triple Vanguard lineup here. Looking to play the triple strategist as well. So, really excited to see if they are going to be able to stall things out in their favor now as the fight starts to heat up here. Battle both worlds into the God of Thunder, trying their best to stop damage up the front. Not going to be able to get much of it though. Maelstrom coming out as well. Here's the Meteor trying to shut down the heals here. They will not be able to succeed this time around, so still have to commit to the fight here. Still have to do much more. Trades coming out up front though. It's the OC timer. The Dark Child coming out from Buzzling Boozer, trying their best to see if they can abuse the strategist in the back lane there, and they will. Spilling down a KO after KO. Yes, it's Will brought out the Raging Royal Flush, but it's too little too late. They are shutting the gate on this one. Slice and Dice Hulk Blaster player standing on the mission vehicle right now, and they will hold it back long enough for teammates to get there. They even got a KO. The trades are coming out though, and the OT still raging on.
Yeah, they'll see the Raging Royal flush from Yo-Yo B as he comes back, and there is the immediate anti-heal on towards the back line there. But you see, just Bad Luck's able to touch with the help of the Thor. The killer now needs to be worrisome of their back line. Calcoli will be able to turn around and help their fellow strategist. McKillop will be able to stop KGSC at one. Only 77 meters, Matt, and what a hole around that corner. It looked like KGSC, they had the comp read, they had the pick comp, but it didn't just quite pay off. MVP from Yo-Yo B. Some of those Raging Royal flushes were super clutch, but as well, the anti-heals at times are super effective there, and McKillop claiming a 2-0 lead here in the series, Matt.
Yeah, really, really well done there. They will be able to claim victory into their favor. So, solid stuff coming out from them. Very impressed with how they played things out there. You know, as you said, Yo B really making an impact for their team. Those Raging Royal flushes came in clutch. Unfortunately, they weren't able to match that energy on the KGSC side there. You know, maybe just falling into the pressure a little bit, mistiming of some of the ultimates, ultimately proving to be their undoing. And they just didn't know how to deal with some of the higher mobility of the comp that was presented to them by the McKillop side there. So definitely going to be, I'd say, a good lesson for the KGSC side out of this series.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's worrisome, right? We were expecting the triple Vanguard when we saw it, but you know the likelihood that that triple Vanguard comp holds well is, I was going to say, a worrisome thing, because as soon as we saw McKillop swap to the Wolverine, it really fell apart there for the side of KGSC.
Yeah, it sure did. Unfortunate for them, and we'll see what is going to be unfolding into our next portion of the day as we have our Division 1 Grand Finals right around the corner. We'll see you soon. Hello, hello, we are back. Sm1lez and TwoTapTony coming at ya with another amazing game. It's our Division 1 Grand Final. And Tony, I can't wait to see which team's going to win. We've already seen one amazing game today, and this one I expect will be no less amazing. In fact, it might be even more so. And our teams, I'm sure, are going to showcase exactly what they can do.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, right? Because we just saw a barn burner of a best of 3 there to start off from the side of McKillop. So I imagine this next one is going to be all the more impressive here to see if they can keep up that momentum. I believe they will be going against SPLC here in the Grand Finals, Matt. So this should be an exciting game. Grand Finals now, no longer a best of 3. Now we get to see best of 5. So you have to win 3 maps instead of 2 to claim the series. And I was going to say, a team like SPLC definitely could match McKillop's pace here going into this series.
Yeah, definitely could see that from them, and I guess I'm eager to see whether they are going to be able to do just that, you know, whether they're going to be able to match that energy or take it a step further. But speaking of, here we go. We are into the draft. It is going to be first banner for McKillop, Black Panther. Goodbye and hello to the SPLC Panthers. Now they are looking to take a ban of their own. It's Magic. No surprises. If they were watching the last game there, we did see a lot of potential from that Magic.
Yeah, I was going to say, great read from SPLC. McKillop really playing that Magic super well. Buzzling Booster just threatening that strategist line so often. We'll see Bruce Lock here for the side of SPLC. So taking a page out of KGSC's book, they really want to play into that Hulk themselves as well. Unfortunately, Hulk doesn't really have as many good team-ups this season as he did previously, so it's just a strong frontward presence, a strong dive character, if you will, but for the side of McKillop, they're probably not too worried about that one. We'll see a Jeff lock in here as well for the side of McKillop. Hunchback Bird been playing into that one pretty well. I imagine that's going to be followed suit by a Storm if SPLC don't ban it out.
Wouldn't doubt that whatsoever. I think you're definitely going to be seeing something of that nature there, and you could see even more. But what we do see right now is the Devil's going to be taken out. Hulk will be on the protect there this time, so interesting to see focus around that Vanguard. You know, I feel like Hulk is in an okay place, but yeah, interested to see how things go. I love this reaction from SPLC Panthers, where they got the Jeff Protect for McKillop there, immediate ban on the Storm. But in saying that, that could have been a bait and switch play from McKillop as well here, but good to see the Protect from the Panthers onto the Strange here.
Yeah, the Strange from Mr. Yeet Turtle has been pretty impressive, and I imagine for SPLC going into, you know, this first point domination on Krakoa, you really want that Strange at your disposal so you can come in and stall percentage, even really capture the point back for your own favor. We'll see a Hawkeye lock here on the side of McKillop, Matt. So I know you like that one, and I imagine McKillop looking to play into that one. I imagine followed up by a Cloak. They could play Cloak with that Hawkeye. We haven't seen that team up all too much. Penny getting taken away by McKillop is a good read, I was going to say, especially with domination. Krakoa, you can really hide the nest super well on a map like this. So Magneto ban is the final one here for SPLC. They don't want to have to deal with any sneaky meteors coming out from the side of Catcoli.
No, they certainly do not. They do not want to deal with that whatsoever. But good to see that they have taken that one out, because it does nullify the Gambit team up as well if they were looking to play into that, which they are not. But we'll see how things go for them. You know, I'm interested to see whether Hawkeye is actually going to be a thing here. If they did play into the Hawkeye eventually, then, you know, potentially they might switch up the strategist lineup to get the Cloak and Dagger out to play into that team up there, considering you can get the vulnerability and healing rather pushed out across your enemies and teammates with the slash there, or the deflection slash. Very interested to see if they do play into something like that. But what does this leave open for the SPLC Panthers? The Deep Wrath team up for Saint and Hyper here. So really keen to see how that one is going to go, because already, you know, they've got a pretty frontward Vanguard lineup there, having to deal with the squids as well, and maybe more squids coming up depending on the KOs there. That's going to be difficult to deal with. They're really going to have to lock in on those, you know, snatch type plays there from Cheese to the Noob on the Wolverine in particular. And we'll see how things go.
This is going to be interesting. McKillop. I'm really curious to see how these duels go here for them, especially with the fact that they have to play against that deep team up here. We'll see with Helen and more. Of course, Hyper setting up some great squids here along the pole, so they're hard to deal with, and they dish out the maximum amount of damage on the McKillop as possible. I want to see the fight rage out here. A few anti-heals already coming out here from Rowdy. Jeezy the Noob already able to pick him up there. Will be able to take out Yeet Turtle. McKillop strong KO start here. Again, just dishing blows back and forth here, trading KOs. We'll see how Rowdy able to find Edible on top of the point now. Needs to be a little bit careful.
Yeah, needs to hold us steady on this one, but as much care as they place into this, McKillop will be able to push ahead. And that is going to be mission area control enabled. We'll see what else they can do. Important little note there, Tony. You know, we saw Katko Lee actually wielding the little Jeff charm, so nice to see, you know, a little play into some of the Marvel Rivals lore there, you know. Great to see they're carrying their favorite hero alongside them.
Yeah, also bringing the Jeff to play here. I was going to say, especially on Domination Krakoa, where Jeff can really have an impact here, especially on his first point, where there's a little bit more central middle ground here, and Swallows are probably a lot more effective. SPLC, though, they'll find those first 2 KOs. Kakoli wielding the Jeff charm, but not quite able to keep their Jeff online there. McKillop will lose out a ton of their members. SPLC are able to capture the point there. Strong fight from them.
Strong fight, could get even stronger in a second. So they are going to be sticking back for the moment. Now, one thing I like that they have here for the SPLC Panthers is that final judgment, because no matter how much McKillop Tassie Devils are going to bring to them, if that final judgment comes out, they might just be able to nullify pretty much everything. But speaking of everything, you can hear them trying their best to enable a portal. They've already slipped their way in. Final judgment enabled there. Brainiac bounce into the fate of both worlds. Ooh, big damage onto the Mr. Fantastic. Goes down there, as you see. They are able to shred teams up with that one. Akamoto up front as well. We'll be able to catch Kakko Lee there. Looking to see if they can get anyone else. Trading out onto Mr. Yeet Turtle. And they will find more and more. But with the hurdles enabled, Ranging Royal Flush comes out. Last stand from Cheese to the Noob here. Not going to be able to scrape them up. They will catch one at least. Ooh, Saint does get away though. And they will be able to push ahead of this fight. And my goodness, what an exchange of ultimates there. You know, only a couple left for McKillop Tassie Devils. One and the same almost for SPLC Panthers there. And the impact of that final judgment, it was just felt. It really took the fight for their own.
It really spilled the fight over into SPLC's favor. We'll still see Puzzle and Bruiser rocking this fantastic. They'll see the hold. And they'll try and take him out, isolate this quick KO there. Great, the more ultimate stun up, McKillop. They'll continue to walk forward here. Nile pretty healthy of the mark. And Psionic Seduction coming through here from McKillop. They'll lock up those Ghoulists. They'll try and find those KOs, but they're able to dodge it out. SPLC are able to retreat for the moment. Eat Turtle. The KO there on the edible broadcast, so that's not the Eye of Agamotto left up here. Guzzling Boozer, quick trade here. We'll see Jeff Time try to get onto the point, but McKillop, they give it up. First point of Krakoa going to SPLC.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's Jeff not able to kidnap any of them this time, and they will be taken over the line for the first objective, captured away. So, great start from SPLC Panthers there. McKillop unable to adapt to this one. We'll see if they are going to be able to lock in into this next portion right now, as
30 seconds before you attack.
they have a bit of energy. They got a bit of presence behind them. And I think that there is going to be some good opportunities here. You know, I can sense a bit of a combination from... Ooh, change up onto the Bucky as well. They're changing who's playing Duelist, who's playing the Vanguard there. So, very curious to see how that change up will fare for them, Tone.
Yeah, it's I was gonna say a pseudo pick comp, right? You've got the group to lock somebody up once the Bionic Hook comes out from Cat Collie. We'll see Cheesy the Noodle. I thought he was going to stay on the Wolverine. I don't mind, you know, Wolverine with the Groot. As I said, pick comp pretty good for McKillop if they rock that combo, but they'll just be going with the Hook and the Groot walls here as well. The team up, Jeff can ride on top. And, for the side of SPLC, they haven't changed up all too much. I was going to say it was interesting that they kind of played into the Hell in the Maw, but they realized it wasn't quite working. Saint wasn't really having the impact that was necessary in these current engagements. And, well, Hyper is going to be playing up on the high ground pretty easily, dishing out a ton of soft enough damage for those KOs. Nile as well, Yeet Turtle. Don't break the squid. They will find the KOs here. Niles just continuing to hammer forward. Trying to find Cheesy the Noob. We are locked up at Saint. We'll finalize that KO.
Finalize the KO and ready. Flow things ahead and see if they can throw things into motion once again. Shots come over the top right now. Just slip it around the back. Yeah, do have Agamotto at the ready on both sides. Speaking of Agamotto, boom! Big shots up front! Oh my goodness! The Maelstrom going heavy at the moment! And it's all down to none. In the blink of an eye, they annihilate that team there. My goodness, Tony!
Yeah, you saw the final judgment as well out of Satan just for measure, but it wasn't needed. Agamotto, Maelstrom from Yeet Turtle, and that's why you let Yeet Turtle on this strange. Now we'll see McKillop. They'll bring out their desperation weapon. They'll bring the Hawkeye to play. See Cheesy the Noob swap over to the Invis. A lot of swapping here for McKillop, and that's a worrisome sign, right? If they're having to make a lot of changes, a lot of drastic ones, it isn't going well for them. SPLC still controlling this front ground here. We'll see Nile up on the high ground once again. He'll drop down low to try and get some heals from his strategist. He'll pop the Hulk ultimate. And we'll see a ton of damage still being dished out by SPLC on the back end.
Yeah, still seeing that distribution there, still seeing more and more presence here. Speaking of, here we go, Rage and Roll Flush are going to be looking to rush and flush them out right now. Big damage around the back. They just don't care. Locking it in on the fellow strategist, and see you later. Hulk going back to Hulk form there. No more puny banner. They do have, it's Jeff taking them for a bit of a kidnap, and they will find 3. So, nice chance of redemption here for McKillop. See if they can get something through with the Hunter's Sight at the ready. Yo, big breaker free. Here we go. It's gonna be big damage coming over the top there. We got the boundary up as well. Just look at how they scrub past all those players. They haven't caught anyone though. No KO, but at least it's a way to evacuate the dance floor on the mission area.
Oh, looking to clear out the point though. Yo-Yo B didn't find any impact with that ultimate, but he's still winning out the fight here slowly. We'll see another KO come out from Cat Collie with the side of seduction. Hook there from Buzzling Boozer. Swapped over to the Winter Soldier, and we'll be able to find a double KO there through the portal. McKillop. Well, they'll be able to pick up that fight. They have capture percentage now too, so SPLC, a portal of their own to play with if they want to use it.
Yeah, there's ways that they can change things around here, things that they can do. They won't need it yet, but at least they have it at the ready, should it be required. Let's see which KO is going to be acquired first, though, as they are looking to burst into this fight. And there you go, Agamotto up front. They catch at least one of them, but they will take a lot of damage for it. Kraken impact up front. They immediately deal with it with the final judgment there. Saint in big trouble. Finally, it's the rubble, but it's enough to get their team over the line. It doesn't even matter. For the Proteus at the ready as well. Look at Hyper, they're ready. Jeff comes in. They're going to be knocked straight down, and it don't matter. Not required. It's going to be map, set, and done. So, good job to SPLC Panthers there. They take the first.
Yeah, strong start from SPLC Panthers, and not worried about McKillop's looming pressure from already winning that last best of 3, right? McKillop's warmed up, ready to go. Rowdy, well-deserved MVP with the Gambit. Son of impacts coming out of the Gambit players from both of these sides, and for McKillop might need to see a prioritization in the bans towards that one, because yeah, this is a worrisome sight. McKillop trying to change up a lot of things, and none of it quite working. SVP for Yo-Yo B at least, but yeah, SPLC strong bans there, taking away the Magic, taking away the Storm and the Magneto. There goes a lot of that front-end pressure that we saw McKillop really use in their last best of 3.
That's it, losing out a lot of that frontward pressure there, so they have to really reconsider how they tackle this one, what else they can do here, Tone, and we'll see what they will come up with into the next portion. You know, I think the second map is going to be really interesting to see how the bans change, if they change at all, which character prioritization they're going to be looking to set their aim towards, you know, whether they have more focus around some of the vanguards there or the strategists, maybe even duelists to change up the pacing a bit there. A lot of things to take into consideration as they pace their way towards Spider Islands. Convoy locked and loaded. I'm sensing some Penny around the corner.
Yeah, it's going to be, I feel like, a very Penny-centric map. We saw McKillop actually take away Penny as their final ban into that last one. So, you know, I imagine McKillop probably want to stay with that Penny ban going into this one. But on the side of SPLC, right, they played that one super well, effective with the Strange. So I feel like SPLC probably definitely want to keep the Strange up going into this next one. Or we could see them change it up completely, a little bit more centric towards the dive, because Rowdy earning MVP in that last one with the Gambit, I imagine they want to play around him a little bit more going into this stuff.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, you know, they played their strategist role so well. Like, they're able to play very aggressive, jumping into the backline there, shutting down their opposing strategists, and really enabling their team to just keep going on and on and on. You know, they just keep progressing their way into it, you know, just looking to have a bit of toughness for them, you know, maybe looking to showcase their opponent's got a glass jaw there, but we'll see how things go into this next portion as the band start to progress here. We got Namor taken away, Gambit taken away as well. Okay, we're going to change it up a little bit here, Tone.
Yeah, well, at least for SPLC, they don't want to have to deal with the Gambit, because they've just really showed it to be a strong pick themselves. McKillop, interesting that their prioritization towards the Magneto a little bit earlier on in the pieces, probably a very important thing to note. Taking away the Namor as well, not allowing SPLC to, I was going to say, play that one a little bit more defensively. We saw Hyper really set up a ton of squids a little bit more for his backline. That's why Rowdy was, I guess, the freedom to walk forward with the fact that his other strategist is pretty healthy, pretty safe. We'll see as well. Luna lock in here for SPLC. Of Luna play, I was going to say, you know, we expected to see a little bit more Gambit, Jeff, Gambit, Rocket. But I feel these teams still favor that Luna pick, and SPLC, well, they'll have to deal with a Daredevil ban. They'll see McKillop as well lock in the Strange, so Edible Bookhouse going to be back on that one. Taking away the Jeff, though, is a crucial thing to note. McKillop won't have that team up available still going into this one.
Yeah, still going to have to take a lot of things into consideration there, but I'm already liking some of the changes here. Iron Man slipping through for the SPLC Panthers, I feel on this map in particular can work so well, because there's condensed choke points there. You know, they really have limited space that they can kind of slip into, and with the fact that they can combine that into the Punisher as well, so taking combat in the land and the skies definitely keeps your opponent guessing. You know, they don't know where to look because they're going to have to look everywhere. So, McKillop really going to have to try and destabilize them a bit here. I think that bionic hook, if they can get the right placement, will be a great way to try and deal with Hyper here. You know, if they can just get that hook to take them out of the sky. But I mean, that's if they can land the angle. And I think the pressure is going to be on Cheesy the Noob, try and shut them down on that Star-Lord. And it's great that they have these kind of different heroes coming through here. Very keen to see who can showcase their prowess, their strength into this initial section. So we are getting straight into combat, Tony, and the mission vehicle is ready to go.
The mission vehicle already on its way. You can already see Cheesy the Noob trying to poke at Hyper, and he'll be able to find it. But an immediate trade back from Saint. They've got the answer to the Star-Lord. That's the answer to the Iron Man. So it's a bit of a rock, paper, scissors kind of game here from the side of SPLC. They'll receive Hyper back on the respawn. But the Yo-Yo B opting for the Rocket Raccoon this time around, so the teleport's available. Rowdy will be able to find that finalizing KO there, trying to keep the teammates healthy with the burst healing coming out from the Luna. McKillop, I was going to say, yeah, as you had said, a lot of different compositions being thought about here as well. They will have that Star-Lord teleport available if Cheesy the Dude wants to dive, get aggressive. For SPLC, they're playing this front end super well. Once again, each Turtle Nile just untouchable on these Vanguards.
Yeah, don't know till you know, but what you do know is the final judgment's out right now, and they're trying to get past the mag, but the bubbles, the shields are just too much, and there you go. Vanguards, goodbye, and say hello to our duelists here. There's no one to peel damage for them now, so slowly but surely, they're trickling through those staggered KOs. That will be one way to end that portion of the attack there, but a solid beginning already coming through from SPLC.
There's a strong start. Nile, Saint just trading blows here. We'll see Cheesy the Noob opt to go for the Star-Lord Ultimate, trying to go Legendary. We'll find Satan Hyper. There's all the front-end damage from SPLC. Everybody else a little bit healthy. Cheesy the Noob's going to have to back off because Rowdy is the one to deal with the hit scans in air. We'll still keep this stable for the moment. We'll see Fate of Both Worlds from Hunchback Bird forced out from the side of McGilla, but you can still see that SPLC aren't worried about this push.
Yeah, going to be unfazed more or less, you know. They're gaining a bit of pace, sure, McKillop, but SPLC are in a great place. They've already got the Hulk Smash online, you know, not going to be able to enable the World Breaker, but they do enable the Invincible Pulse Cannon, and we'll be able to shut down even more KOs there. The Seer coming online at a delayed pace. Goes down immediately. Yo B going to be the last one on the mission vehicle right now, and they will be shut down accordingly. So a little bit of a mistiming there, if you will, and it's going to force McKillop to get back into a reset position here.
They have to fall back again. Fortunate timing on that Seer. Hyper as well. I was going to say, you know, the hits that came out from McKillop, they opted to go into the Star-Lord, but Hyper's still very much a slippery target here amongst the environment that's been destructed here. SPLC as well with their Vanguards just poking and prodding. Heat Turtle. Nile just really up in the mix, denying the space opportunity for McKillop, and they need to change things up. Yo-Yo B over to the Invis now. We'll see Galactic Legend once again from Cheesy the Noob. He'll take out a quick one there onto Hyper. We'll see as well. Cat going with the Magneto Meteor M to shut down the final judgment. Doesn't opt to take out Rowdy, so the fate of both worlds keeps the rest of the team healthy. And a lot of the damage once again is being taken out here from SPLC.
Great reaction coming through from McKillop there. They found the solution to the final judgment, immediate onto the Meteor, and now enabling them to pressure their way ahead here. SPLC Panthers forced into the back pedal here. They might be okay. You know, no one else has been KO'd until now. It's going to be Agamotto up front, trying to get the pressure through onto Luna Snow, but it's not going to happen. The God of Thunder comes around the back, and they will be able to launch their own attack. Good trade out coming on to the Buzzling Boozer there, looking for even more. Invisible Boundary coming up as well. They do not want to hold on to this one. They want to try their best to push their opponents away, but it's the Hulk Smash online now, forcing them off the mission vehicle. Big KO on a Yo-Yo B there. The focus is on those strategists, and they will fight even more. Here we go again, though. McKillop still pushing it up. Portal online, and another one is on its way, Tony. Here we go.
The Turtle Bond is going to stall the mission vehicle as well. Saint falls back. Fate of both worlds here from McKillop. Stay on the healthier side of things. They do as well have the Galactic Legend available. Cheesy the Noob to pop that one against Hyper. He will be taking him out, but the rest of the KOs come through from SPLC. Rowdy with that Fate of both worlds, keeping everybody up and healthy. Saint is the one dishing out all the damage. We'll see Haya Bagamoto already charged up once again for Heat Turtle. They'll take out Buzzly Boozer. They'll take out Hunchback Bird and OT. And only 104 meters claimed here for McKillop.
What an impressive defense coming through from SPLC Panthers there. They don't even allow them to capture the first objective. And it does mean they have a lot of a lesser distance to push into this flipped side now. So, A big amount of pressure going to be on the McKillop side here. What do they bring to the table? How do they stall them out? Will it be a triple Vanguard composition here? Will it be triple? 2, 3, 2, 1. There's a lot of things that they can bring into this, but they really have to find that right recipe, that win condition here, because otherwise that will put SPLC Panthers on to series point if they take this one from here.
It's worrisome things to think about right now for McKillop. Right, they just came off the back of a hot best of 3 here to get themselves into this grand final. For the likes of SPLC, they aren't worried about that hot start. They're playing their own game. They know what they want. They want to take this grand final in sweeping fashion against McKillop. A lot of different things being thought about here for SPLC. What else? Hyper. Maybe play for a little bit more of the isolation comp here. Sm1lez, I believe probably just going to be hovering that Widow. I don't imagine it's going to be a full lock-in. You don't have the team up to play into it, so I was going to say, just imagine that one's probably, yeah, just a quick little hover there from Sm1lez. Swaps back over to the C&D. McKillop, oh, they're going to be the ones having a fight for the space right now, and you can already see up in the front end of things, but taking a lot of damage there, and the KOs come through quickly for the side of SPLC.
Immediately taking them out of the skies and looking to swoop past them. Oh my goodness, it's a big gust of wind, it's a tornado as they sweep themselves away from the mission area. And they've already made it towards the halfway point here. Could even see potentially something even more dangerous. Moon Knight, though, it could be a good solution here. They're able to stack up the damage, get that Khonshu out. They're already building it up nice and easily here, and it could be exactly what they need to just build up a little bit more time. Speaking of, Saint does pick up the KO on the cheese. Their noob there, traded out on a Mr. Yeet Turtle. That's a good one to take. They need to find as much damage as they can here, and they are going to be hitting a standstill for the moment.
Yeah, we'll get a quick pause, hopefully, to sort some issues out. But yeah, for the side of McKillop, a good answer, right? Playing into that Moon Knight with the chokes at their disposal. SPLC, they got that first initial fight, but it's now how they can continue to push it forward here, because McKillop, they've had some time to react, especially with the fact that the KOs came through so quickly. The call immediately from McKillop's like, all right, we need to play a little bit more for this choke. They've got the Invisible Woman. They've got the Moon Knight to dish out that choke-heavy damage. SPLC, they lose Yeet Turtle in the process there to start that fight off. So already on the back end of things here, and we'll hopefully get this pause sorted for you as well. Interesting to see Saint over towards the Black Widow. The SPLC, they hovered it for a second. Sm1lez was, teasing it a little bit, but Saint actually brings it out. And that's, not every day we get to see a Widow.
No, it's great to see a bit more of the Black Widow coming into the fold here, especially playing around new team up. If they choose to do that, they can get a bit of a more hybrid duelist, if you will, coming out there where, Black Widow can bring out a ton of healing if they want to play into something like that. But yeah, keen to see more of that heading into the future, if it can work. Obviously, it takes a lot, I'd say, to be a good Black Widow or even a great Black Widow player, because, there's a lot of players that are able to just focus you down and immediately wipe out that hero. But when you do find the right recipe, it can be so, so great.
Yeah, it's about being slippery as well. I was going to say the Black Widow, you can play up front, you can be, in the fray with the Black Widow, but it's also about knowing when to back off, knowing when to reposition here. And I was going to say, you don't want to overstep, right? Your Widows, sometimes you get up on the high ground there, you play on top of your Vanguards, and then all of a sudden you get bursted down by a possible Moon Knight there with those Arcs, bursted down potentially as well from a Thor ultimate. And yeah, for the side of SPLC, I'm curious to see how this Widow goes. For McKillop, though, this is a very strong kind of hold comp that they've got, especially with the fact that they got the Magneto through for this map, especially. Convoy, a very strong one.
Here we go. We're back into the game, everybody. So, let's see how things go now. Hulk up front. Pretty close to the Hulk smash, I'd say. Very eager to see how that goes, but they are going to have to deal with the hand of Khonshu first and foremost. See what Edible Bookus will do with this one. Oh, cracking impact. It's going to be coming out up from. Boundary coming up in response there. So good to bait out the Strategist ult out of that one. A big trade of ultimates, if you will. But see what else they can find. Zeta does catch Hunchback Bird there. Agamotto up front as well. There's the play coming in there. There's going to be a big amount of KOs into this one. So, solid stuff coming out from SPLC Panthers. They adapt accordingly. Utilize both Strategist ults there, you know. Getting the Eternal Bond out, getting the Fate of Both Worlds, getting the dance floor, you know. It's all looking good, but it's going to be looking even sweeter. They will be able to greet victory head on and take it to a series point.
Yeah, great fight there to close that one out. And I was going to say it's just about the fact that they were harassing that backline so well. Nile going to be, of course, I feel like a well-deserved MVP candidate as well for the side of SPLC, because that Hulk is so hard to deal with, right? Just slipping and diving throughout the backline, able to get back towards the front. Rowdy, another deserved MVP. We saw 44k healing on the Gambit. We'll see 28k for Rowdy now on the Luna. Super impactful ultimates, I was going to say, from Rowdy this one as well. You know, Raging Royal Flushes were good, but the Fate of Both Worlds just has something that ultimate doesn't.
Couldn't agree more. You know, being able to elevate your team, you know, getting a speedy pursuit into a fight, if you will, getting a bit more damage is just so much, you know. I'd say that Fate of Both Worlds, you can definitely do a great job of just sustaining your team, but then it's a balancing act in between whether you want to enable the boosted healing or the boosted damage. And a lot of Lunar Snow players, you do find, kind of miss where that balance should be placed at times, you know, maybe having a bit too much focus over damage in one area or another, or having a bit too much focus over the healing. But it's great to see that Rowdy was able to make it work in a big way for their team at this time around. You know, they were able to really take Lunar Snow to exactly where they wanted to be here. So really solid stuff coming out from them and their team. So series point now in favor of SPLC Panthers, but what do we have? We have another map. We are going to Convergence. It's the Symbiotic Surface. We're going to Clintar here, not to be mistaken with the Celestial Husk, unless another map victory, maybe later. But no, I think we are going to the Symbiotic Surface this time around for a third map of Convergence, Tony. So get keen. This is another map where I feel, at least in the initial phase there, on the defensive side, Penny can work in a big way.
Yeah, Penny is a big one to note. You can hide that nest in some good spots on the defense side, right? There's the room to the right. There's the room to the left that doesn't get utilized all too much, as well as that back-end choke of things. So I was going to say, I imagine we'll see again the Penny ban out of McKillop. SPLC, they probably don't have to worry about that one all too much to go into this initial ban phase, because they're the ones getting the start defense. We'll see Panther taken away once again for McKillop. They're putting a lot in having their strategist feel safe, and that Panther is one that can definitely disrupt the sway of things. But immediately SPLC, they're like, all right, we'll take away your magic. We want to keep our strategist safe as well.
Yeah, so it's been a similar sentiment, I'd say, across the draft phase in all the maps of this one thus far, right? Where they've focused around those melee-based duelists there, trying to shut them down immediately, putting focus around their key vanguards as to which direction they want to take it. And now we'll see if they will chop away some of the strategists as well there, as they've got focus around their banning phase now, and are looking to shut down the Deep Wrath team up once again. So no Namor this time, and we're now going to switch directions and go towards the Gambit ban.
Yeah, these bans are pretty mirrored. I was going to say the picks and locks for both these sides are really much the same from Spider Island to now. We'll see Jeff lock here for McKillop. They want to keep that one up, but for the side of SPLC, they like keeping up the Hulk and the Luna. Rowdy played that Luna super well in that last one. Well-deserved MVP, sorry. And for the side of McKillop, final ban, do we see them take away the Penny, or do they kind of change it up here? Because there's a lot of things that SPLC have played pretty comfortably. They'll take away Solzy's Cloak and Dagger to finish out.
Interesting to see that one taken away here, and, you know, maybe if they were trying to play Hawkeye, you want to deny that team up. Why not? Nah, definitely can respect it though. Cloak definitely one of the staple strategists throughout a lot of the seasons here, but very curious to see how they will go. Jumping into this next portion now as we're getting our hero picks enabled here. Bucky going to be let through for Buzzling Boozer, and we do see Saint bringing out the Punisher once again here. So very keen, very curious to see what they will end up as their final composition when we get into the fray here. And already looking at SPLC Panthers, it's pretty similar to what they brought out last time, where they've got Iron Man in the skies, they've got Punisher on the ground. Like, it's stock standard composition from them. McKillop being able to bring out the Groot, though, I think is really going to be a good thing for them. They can really disable some of those lines of sight. They can utilize Yo-Yo-Yo-B to get that bionic hook out to try and lock some of their enemies in place there. And having that in combination with the walls from Groot there, heck, even the pull from the Invisible Woman, they can do some good things here, Tony. I like the recipe on paper, but we'll see how the main dish goes as we get into the game now.
Yeah, pull bed on top of a Groot wall. Hard to answer if you're SPLC. As well, bringing Hyper onto this Iron Man once again. This time, kill up an answer, which is easy to do on the Punisher. A lot of damage dish out early. A lot of early fight for this choke. Coley maybe a little bit too far forward. Saint will be able to clip that one up there. Quick KO. And the second one, Hyper with the follow-up, and he's just dishing out so much. Hunchback Bird's taken out. Now we can see the follow-through for the rest of SPLC. Saint collecting KOs early. McKillop, that's already a minute already gone on the clock.
Yeah, expending a bunch of time here, looking to zone in and chime ahead and see how they go. Weaving our way through this one. They get slow and steady, Niall. Ooh, looking to dial into this one. They're looking a bit like a Venom right now, but looks like they are going to be jumping straight into the back line. The strategist's in big trouble. Final Judgment up front as well. It's a pincer maneuver onto this one. Niall damaging them up front. We got Rowdy with the Fate of Both Worlds as well now. They can't stop them. There's no way to destabilize this except for It's Jeff. They've put 2 picks here. They're trying to take them away. There's no one to stop them off the map, so they will at least take them away from the fight. But it does not work out at all. That's so unfortunate, Tony. And the sea are coming up as well now. They're trying to keep this frontward pressure and not let up. Agamotto, they don't care. They're just going to keep going, Tony. They do not want them to get out of spawn. They have been imprisoned in their own spawn right now.
Yeah, you'd think that SPLC are playing Groot the way that this prison has been strangling SPLC. Once again, it's not up on the wall, playing this Hulk like you would have bet him. And that's, I guess, the interesting thing to note. The thing that we didn't really mention is you can kind of play Hulk like you would have bet him. Very duck and dive kind of character, very tanky on the Vanguard. You can see just poking and prodding at McKillop. They're trying to portal in the meantime, and they will be able to get towards the backside of things. They'll take out Niall as well. And now Hyper's like, guys, they're on the point. There's nothing we can do about it. They are staggered in this approach. McKillop might have found their mark here. They'll pop Final Judgment, and they'll pop as well the Bucky ultimate to try and get the resets, but it's all going to cheesy to do, and the point will be captured, and we'll see the mission vehicle start to move.
Yeah, great to see from them there. They managed to really elevate the pressure. Finding a bit of the recipe from SPLC Panthers, you know, having use of that Punisher there. Final Judgment, just tale as old as time. If you can manage to really make it find its mark, it forces your opponents to scatter immediately. And it just enables so much freedom of movement for you and your team there, provided there's no way to deal with it quickly. And it looks like there isn't for the moment. So, good for the McKillop side here, but good for both teams is the trade-offs coming through. They're looking for more. Where that came from is Hyper. He's just doing such a grand job of stacking up damage. Invisible pulse cannon coming out. Boom! Double down around the back there. Final Judgment up the front as well. They're blunt with this one. They are trying to destabilize this attack, and they will succeed and send them packing.
Yeah, that's a brave pulse cannon to go for. Just flying in the face of McKillop and letting that one rip. And the fact that they couldn't quite stop it because they didn't have the answers to shut that one down. Yo-Yo Beam was taken out of the fray earlier. The hook didn't come through to shut it out. And, well, SPLC, they have gathered themselves some good space here. KO still once again starting to stagger. SPLC have found their footing once again. We'll see Agamotto from Cat Coley sniped up by the snowball there from Rowdy. And it will be fated. Both wells immediately popped. Visible boundary back from McKillop. And we'll see this fight rage on as everybody will just stay healthy. It's about isolating a target right now. Niall will pop from the mythical hold. We'll see Agamotto as well from Geek Turtle, but Swallow up from It's Jeff, from Hunchback Bird, and they will be able to take away these Vanguards. They can't do anything. Hyper's left alone in the fray with Stalsy to try and do something.
A great isolation on the fight there, forces a bit of a reset, and they catch the straight KO as well. This is great coming through. Hunchback Bird, though, getting taken out. Niall, what a great job up front, needs to fall back, and quickly. They do go down a puny banner form, so really great result for McKillop here. We'll see if they are going to continue to envelop the mission vehicle. They will stick back for a second longer now. Big damage up the front. They're still getting the push onto the mission vehicle here. Maybe doing a bit more as well. A second. The damage now exchanged into neutral. Saint goes down. Good. KO coming through there. It's going to be a Niall back in through Hulkfall there. And looking to see if they can capture anyone else. Niall bringing, Hyper's coming back as a matter of fact with the BRB, but might not be back for long as all their teammates are going down quickly. And just like that, when can you miss it? Next objective is captured here for McKillop.
Now they have 2 minutes on the clock. Pulse Cannon on top once again. Hyper can't be getting away with this as the Punisher Ultimate 2 to follow suit. The final judgment as McKillop need to make a stand. They will be able to take out Saint before that judgment does anything. Yo-Yo B continuing to click as he walks on up. Hyper, though, is still making this fight doable for SPLC as he's finding picks towards the back end of things. Nobody to deal with him. We'll see SPLC actually able to rally around that ultimate from Hyper. McKillop stunted in their approach now.
Stunted in the approach and ready. See if they can take it one step further as they will find a KO now up front. Agamotto into the Kraken impact. Fate of Both Worlds might save them, but no! It's going to be Yo-Yo B catching them through the Fate of Both Worlds there. Boundary coming up in response from Edible Bookers as well. This is not where you want to be if you're the Panthers right now. SPLC need to bring it back, but no! Just when you think it goes bad, it gets worse. The final judgment coming out. God of Thunder, they want to send this one over the line, and they have quite the recipe to do it, but with Strategist Ultimates around the corner for SPLC, if they can just stagger the mission vehicle for a second here, they might have a chance. Here we go. Boundary is up. It's Jeff as well. Agamotto. It's all happening, Tony. Hulk smash as well. They've caught all the enemies, and somebody has got to go down. And just like that, the Panthers bring it back.
Yeah, they're able to bounce back in a big way, but overextension with a few of those ultimates, right? The boundary was probably all they needed with the Hulk smash, but they had to use the Agamotto as well there, and McKillop. Oh, they've still got 40 seconds. They're going to portal in here. We're just going to have a Punisher set up from Cheesy to move on the turret. Oh, the rest of them are in play. Hyper has swapped up to the Moon Knight, so a lot more AoE damage to come out here from SPLC going into this fight.
Oh my days. Can you believe it? You know, definitely a bigger change up from them there. Impressed with the Moon Knight change. I feel like that's going to be a big, especially in this situation, considering how quickly Moon Knight can build up the Hand of Khonshu. And considering the part of the map that they're in at the moment, the Hand of Khonshu is going to be huge. Because if they can just stack that on the mission vehicle, it forces McKillop to get the heck off as quick as possible. Because if they stay there, they're going to need tremendous amounts of healing, which, let's be honest, they probably won't get, considering they're nowhere near their Strategist Ultimates right now. Like, It's Jeff is 10%, 48% on the invisible boundary, so that's like near halfway, and they have not a lot of time. So, yeah, I'm not having a good feeling for McKillop right now, Tony, considering what we are seeing in place here, but you don't know until you know.
Yeah, you don't know until you know. For McKillop, it's Touchback though in the process, and now we're back to it. The fight will wage on. Hyper's a bit stuck there for the moment, but the rest of them kill him. We're able to answer back in a big way. Yo-Yo B now on towards the strategist in the backline who felt safe for the moment. Now Saint is under fire by Buzzley Boozer. We'll see Solzy at least take one, but they need to get back on towards this mission vehicle because it's pushing. It's all the way done. 10 seconds left on the clock, but Killip will be able to get 3 though.
That they will. They push it the full distance. So, great to isolate those singular KOs there. You know, it really just stopped SPLC Panthers from being able to find any semblance of combinations there. Like, the win condition, as I was alluding towards for them, is that they kept that Moon Knight alive, as well as kept their other key heroes just still enabled into the fights there. But unfortunately for them, they weren't able to succeed in that endeavor. And so, the Killip, they power through and will be able to take it forth. But now it's time for the side switch, the flip of the coin. And let's see how the Panthers fare onto their own offensive side here, as they're looking to play a bit of volleyball, you know, a bit of beach volleyball in Spawn right now, Tone.
A bit of team bonding before they have to come into this next point with a very important mission at the mission for the taking from the Killip. That was a great final push from them, right? Just from when we saw SPLC really strangle them out on that first initial cap, they were able to find their footing, able to find their mark. 1 or 2 fights went SPLC's way, but strong push to close from the Killip, and now you're gonna have to hold Dust as well. Niall's still gonna be rocking with this Hulk. We'll see Hyper once again back on the Winter Soldier. So McKillop, they're gonna be playing front center though. Alright, setup here is good for choosing the move. Not really anyone will be diving on top of him for the moment.
Yeah, no one really gonna be able to get on top of things right now. You can see Niall is ready to focus up. Oh, there it is. Sneak around the back, launch the counter-attack. Yo B is down, and they're looking to see if they can find even more. But Mr. Yeek Turtle in a bit of trouble up front. Don't matter. Niall still silent on it. Not going to be able to get the damage they need there. They will get traded out, but their team at least is able to power ahead a little bit. Albeit, oh, what a bionic hook! Thor's in trouble, and they push them down. This is what they need to take advantage of the pacing here. And look at the KO streaming in. That was a massive bionic hook to turn the direction of that fight there from Hyper.
And that's the unfortunate part about playing the Thor, right? As opposed to the other Vanguards where you have like a shield available, you have some sort of getaway ability, or as soon as they're pulled in towards that backline, there's not really much you can do in terms of the movement. Now we'll see Saint just fire away with the left click. It's a triple KO from Saint, make it a quad. And SPLC will continue their streak of dominance now. 5 minutes, and this mission vehicle continues to go. And for MC McKillop, what do they have to answer here? Maybe need to change something up now.
Yeah, perhaps need to change things up and see what else is gonna be on deck here. Ooh, trying for another bionic hook, and not gonna be able to get it. Crack an impact around the corner as well. Here we go, lock and load. Hyper ready to explode onto the back line. They reset the tick, ready to kick things into effect there. Trying to shut down the Jeff, not gonna be able to get it. Looking to see if they can take down the opposing Bucky, and they will not be so lucky. Their teammates will be though, as they look to punch their way ahead. Niall ready, waiting, trying to shut down this Thor here. And they will fly into the staggered KO already. Some of the teammates resetting, and they're taken down again. This is a major stagger for the side of SPLC Panthers here. They're just finding more and more of these KOs. The mission vehicle is just sitting comfortably. No one's contending here. Might just be able to get it over unless someone rushes forward now. No one charges ahead, and now you get even more time.
And 5 whole minutes, and great discipline as well from SPLC, right? They're finding all these KOs without the use of the ultimates. We'll see Jeff now try to find it's Jeff here towards the back. They'll line towards the front. They'll capture Hyper. They're not be able to quite take out the Jeff at the moment. They will be able to free their teammate. Niall goes for the Hulk smash. We'll see Yo-Yo B going for a cheeky little ultimate there, but it doesn't quite pay off. And now we'll see again SPLC with some dominance here. And they'll continue to push.
continue to push, continue to whoosh past here. And here's the final judgment. This is a great way to destabilize some of the attackers here, but unfortunately, possibly mistimed here. And there you go. Agamotto in counteraction. Their own final judgment. They do counter it out with a Maelstrom though, so it's going to work out. But SPLC Panthers, they're still pulling ahead, still holding strong with these KOs here. They get more and more, just staggering them through now. It's getting to a dangerous point here. McKillop need to lock in sooner or later. Luckily for the Panthers, they do have those two strategist ultimates and the Kraken Impact at the ready.
We'll see Agamotto and Invisible Boundary, but we'll see in return SPLC pop both of their strategist ultimates, Fate of both worlds and Boundary themselves. We'll see Bucky now go in for the resets, and that's a quick double KO. Looking for the Jeff, trying to hook on a Cheesy the Noob, but he's available and healthy for the moment. But still, all of the KOs coming through from SPLC. Now they're trying to stay healthy. Nile into Bruce mode. He's able to get taken out there. Sate on the top of Yo-Yo B. I was going to say 3 meters away from close, and McKillop are able to stabilize. They'll stagger Yeet Turtle as well.
Got one.
The fight is over there for McKillop, and I was going to say for SPLC, a little bit of an over-aggressive move with the double strategist ultimates that happened.
Yeah, I'd say a bit of an overcommitment there. You know, you'd think maybe you'd go one at a time there, but perhaps a little miscommunication. It does force them to fall in place. But what I've been impressed with is some of the duelist presence coming out into this game so far. You know, they've really been able to take things for their own. Looking a bit like the aura of the Brutal and McVoodoo combo of old there, Tony. You know, very eager to see what else is going to come out of this matchup right now, though, as the Kraken Impact, Yo-Yo B, ready to break free here, Tony, and here we go.
Yeah, they'll pull Nile immediately off of the Punisher. Great Answers back, though, from the side of SPLC. Agamotto into Hyper, and Sate finding all of those KOs. We'll see Nile, of course, respawn, goes back into Hulk mode. It doesn't matter, SPLC, they'll cap with 2 minutes 30 now on the clock, rounded up to 3 minutes 18. And for McKillop, they had 10 seconds left. They'll get rounded up to a minute. But we'll go into OT. Yeah, round number 3.
OT round number 3, ready to break free into this one and see which team is going to be able to push ahead here, as both teams now have managed to push it full distance, and we'll see if either of them is going to be able to do something similar all over again. Mr. Tony heading into this next round ahead of us right here, right now. It is going to be fun times ahead. I can feel it. And let's see which team is going to be able to steal it away. Will it be SPLC Panthers playing off a bit of momentum off their successful push there? Will it be McKillop Tassie Devils swinging it back with power of their own here? Both teams now need to lock down, lock in to give it their best here. McKillop Tassie Devils in particular, they lose out here, that's their tournament done. Game over. Champions crowned out of Division 1. The pressure is on, and it's a happy birthday all round there. Looks like they're trying to get a present with a map of victory.
Yeah, happy birthday, no smiles. It feels weird, Matt. It's interesting to see. Yeah, on his birthday as well. He's not here. But of course, SPLC all cheering right now. They've got 3 minutes once they go to the attack side themselves to push. Here with some Cheesy the Noob. Already pushed off the mark here. Once again, SPLC taking page out of the way they played it aggressively last time around. Nile, though, will be popped to Bruce Banner for somehow able to live for just a little bit longer than he probably would have expected, but Hunchback Bird will find it. McKillop now have the room to walk up, but they will lose Hunchback Bird, so great find back there from SPLC to even it back up.
Yeah, great to even it up, settle the score a bit there, and we'll see what else is going to be in store as they force out Fate of both worlds, and it's now going to enable them to keep things under control. A great reaction from Rowdy as well. Does enable them to stall out the fight a little bit longer and allow their teammates to get back online, but here's the Invisible Boundary in response. Edible Bookers are going to be good for it there, so great to chain those strategist ultimates together, and just as soon as Sawsy had their boundary available, they got the KO through. So, very well timed by McKillop. They won't realize it, but certainly are feeling the impact. Carbon Crush coming out from Buzzling Boozer as well. They are going to be able to shut them down here. OT Timer trickling in the portal. Not going to matter. Panthers going to have to stick back here. Not going to be able to counterattack yet. So, see if they can counterattack as this mission vehicle starts to chug along here. They've got a few ults around the corner. Let's see if they are going to be able to stop them in place.
There you go, a few ultimates available. The kill up as well. They've got the final judgment here from Choosy the Noodle. See boundary up by Sawsy, as they immediately want to take up and get this fight going. All they have to do is win this one and it will be closed on this side. But Edible Bookcast and the Agamotto there from the side of Kalgoorlie. And also the SPLC now sent packing for the moment as the final judgment follows suit. Choosy the Noob for at least 2. Full falling, take it out. McKillop continue to push here. For the side of SPLC, they've sent packing once again.
Sent packing time and time again and allowing McKillop to pace their way quickly towards the next objective here. See if they are going to be able to stop them in place sooner rather than later. Nile trying their best to dial in up front. They do have Agamotto available final judgment as well. They need something to just stop them in place. Something to enable them here. They're taking so much damage. The heals just aren't enough. They need it. There we go. An answer. There it is. Agamotto. Final judgment. Mr. Yeet Turtle explodes onto the mission vehicle here. And just like that, they seal their deal. Take control back in their favor, and we'll stop them just shy of that next objective. And what a reaction from the Panthers. But now, Tony, they got to switch sides and do it all over again for themselves.
Yeah, that was, I was going to say, a little bit worrisome maybe there for SPLC. Nile just diving in with the Hulk and didn't quite have the support of the strategist as he did in the previous few games and the previous time they pushed. McKillop, they'll be thankful to cap 4. They'll be thankful to even almost cap 5 there. On the side of SPLC, though, they are raring to go. They've got 3 minutes on the clock here. I feel like we need to see something crazy out of them. Potentially, we'll see maybe Yeet go for a portal early to try and catch McKillop off guard.
I'm keen for a bit of that. Environmental KO, if you will. Taking inspiration from some of our university players, perhaps. We'll see what they are going to be able to do that one, Mr. Tony, as there's a lot of crazy portal tech you can definitely take advantage of if you know how to make it work to your advantage. But let's see how they take aim at this next round ahead of them. They're going to be looking to wish him a happy birthday once again. You know, get some good vibes, good energy through before the game kicks off here. So they got a lot of time to play with here. You know, 3 minutes to see what they can enable here, and it's going to be the turret pumping up the damage initially.
Ooh. Hey, the turret return though, maybe. Saint, Hyper, dishing out the damage, knowing that Choosy the Noob's going to be playing up on the high ground because McKillop have been playing that spot pretty convincingly so far. Saint he's able to get away for the moment. Needs his strategist to turn around and help him out. Also, Yeet Turtle's in the fray. He needs his strategist now. Everybody needs the strategist in times like this. McKillop in a little bit of a back foot here as Nile jumps on towards the Jeff there. It will be Rowdy, though, picking them up there. Good KO as well from Hulk. And they'll find Kalgoorlie and they'll collect him in a trophy case here. SPLC, clean sweep onto the point themselves.
Yeah, quick capture over the mission area there. Not going to be able to stop them in place with something like a portal. I'm kind of surprised even that they didn't opt in to try and stall out a bit more time with that portal, considering how much distance is left to be covered. But I guess they want to hold on to it for a while longer there, see if they can stall their way through. Good Carbon Crush coming out there to try and lock Nile in place. Not going to happen. Boundary coming up there. Good to see that they can activate upon that one. Try and see if they can slate their way forward, and they will. Building ahead with a couple of KOs. Going to be another boundary coming up in response there. Here we go. Final judgment, though. Trying to rip the roof. Fate of both worlds. Ooh, could be good. And they get it. Nicely done. Ripping through the strategist ultimate there. Cracking impact. perhaps unnecessary, but it does get them over the line in the end there. So, it's going to be a solid fight. It's Jeff. Oh, Hunchback Bird ready to stop them. They get the Invisible Woman. They will be able to take that key strategist far, far away.
I feel like you've kidnapped the wrong one, though. I was going to say, Solzy, a little bit more slippery with that Invisible Woman, is able to go a little bit more safer. We're going to be seeing Nile as getting Hulk smash. We'll see Punisher ultimate pop, but Hulk is soaking up all of the backline damage and pressure. SPLC will continue to walk forward. I have Agamotto. We'll see Psionic Seduction not do anything. Hunchback Bird now under fire by Mr. Yeet Turtle. And SPLC will close it here at 3. They will be your grand final champions. SPLC with dominant form here in the Division 1 Grand Finals.
Well done, well played. SPLC Panthers are going to be able to take control there, and it's going to be Division 1 Grand Final lockdown as the SPLC Panthers claim their place as our champion. GG. Well played to both teams there, and a GG to SPLC Panthers claiming their spot. Division 1 champion. And my goodness, Tony, look at those final hits and KOs on Saint.
68 KOs, my goodness, yeah. 31 final hits. SPLC, though, it's triple up on the MVP from Rowdy. I was going to say time and time again, Rowdy came in clutch for SPLC. You know, when it looked a little bit shaky, when it looked a little bit dicey, McKill, they might have found a room to work with. Rowdy really shutting that one down. And my callback all the way to when SPLC were on the push in that first one, the snowball that came out to shut down the Agamotto that came out from that posing Strange, it was huge. Rowdy, well-deserved MVP performance, well-deserved victory, overall dominant there from the side of SPLC.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. You know, I think they played their role really, really well. I was impressed how they were able to manage their ultimates across their strategist lineup. You know, we did see in previous parts of the map there where there was a little miscom and they doubled down on the strategist ultimates, which ultimately can make or break a fight, right? Because it's really a battle of endurance at times between the strategists. It's who pops first, for one thing, and then how long you want to take to kind of react to that accordingly. Because sometimes you do have the flexibility to just back off, you know, try and calm things for a moment there. But very eager to see more adaptations into our further pursuits, as this isn't the end of the day, everybody. We got more on the table. We got more on the card. That's right, Tony. We've got the Division 2 Grand Final! Another one coming at ya right now! It's gonna be incredible!
It's gonna be a fun one. It's BSDE versus Trinity Titans, and oh man, this is an exciting one to look at, right? We've got a ton of impressive players for both these sides. AEL High has been super impressive throughout season, and I was going to say for Trinity as well, they've got some very impressive Vanguard players themselves. Whoopers is one to really keep your eye out here as we go to our first point of Krakoa.
That's it. Coming at you on the first point of Krakoa there, and they are going to be immediately banning out Angela. One in the same. Hella is gone. Goodbye. Farewell. See you next map. And we do have the Protect Online. It's going to be Jeff. That's going to be a good one, I think, for a map like Krakoa. You know, try and see if you can take some opponents off of the mission area there. Definitely going to enable some good presence, I'd say, for them. But the next Protect will be from the BSDE Infinity Stones here. Maybe looking to prioritize another... There you go. Gambit. Going to be prioritized there. They want to take advantage of that character and all of the potential they can tap into. But time for a ban tone, and where do they go?
It's an interesting one, right? There's a lot of options. I'd say maybe ban out Whoopers, take away the cap, or even the thing. I was gonna say we haven't seen all too much thing from the Whoopers, but I was gonna say BSD, they might have done their homework a little bit. Iron Fist getting taken away. Just, you know, in the circumstance where the dive might be a little bit heavy here from the side of BSDE, you can see that Trinity definitely identifying that one. Curious to see what else we see be taken away. Invisible Woman Lock here for Trinity, kind of like that, especially on a map like Krakoa, where it's a little bit more easier to maneuver those boundaries and place them pretty well. BSDE thinking about their next lock. I imagine it would be the Emma, right? We really want to see AEL High on that one. Moon Knight, though, for Cargo Day. So BSDE playing in towards their strategist and their duelist a little bit more.
Yeah, looking to enable a bit more of a heavier focus around that one, and very eager to see what they are going to be able to do around that. You know, if they've got focus there, you would maybe expect the next ban to potentially be a Daredevil. I can't lie. If they're banning into the Iron Fist here, and he's now been banned out as well. There you go. So another melee-based duelist. So that's kind of the direction I was thinking they would go. So yeah, I'm surprised. Honestly, I'm surprised they let Daredevil through. But I guess, you know, maybe they're feeling the Wolverine is a little bit more menacing. So I didn't want to have to really deal with that. But yeah, it's fascinating, Tony. It's definitely fascinating.
Yeah, a lot of interesting things being shown here. You see Invisible and Rocket, kind of the trade mark here. Actually, going to be seeing the Jeff as well for Verixity. So pretty going for the triple strat here. You know, the Animal Crossing, I believe, is the term that's been dubbed as well with the Rocket and Jeff. And going to be rocking triple duelist here. So BSD, they're going to have to be on guard here, right? We've got Squeakers. Does have the freedom to play the Daredevil. I was going to say the strategist here for BSD, probably going to be on guard. Rats and Sunman on the Luna and Mantis. But as I talk about, of course, they changed it up, Matt. It's going to be onto the Groot.
That's it. Bringing out the Groot, looking to isolate those Lions of Sight, and keen to see how they will be able to take a flight into this one. And ignite the time stream, ignite the battle. Look to rattle it up, but Missionary are going to hit the unlock in the next 20, and going to see if they can get plenty of KOs through. Going to be difficult for BSDE to position themselves into this one, and very keen, curious even, to see what they do. They're going to take it a bit slow here. Well, looking to get into a fight just yet, but here we go, the unlock right around the corner. Let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah, it's I was going to say interesting as well that they let Hedgian play the Namor, right? They banned out the hell up. The Namor's just as good. Daredevil here from Squeakers, just being an absolute nuisance here. Finding a quick KO there onto Hedgian. The BRB will bring him back, and now it's BSDE in a favorable position here. We'll see Groot will block off the Mantis. They're trying to take out Sunman here. The choke slam will come through, but Doma still follows up onto a Rats. We'll see Bluebo as well. Collects a quick KO with the Invis. Just something. Of course, the strategist of Invis brings the table. A lot of front-end damage, but as well front-end healing. Verixity at the range. Tap quickly here for Trinity.
That's it. There with a Trinity and ready to take them to infinity. We'll see. They are going to go beyond. They will take it easy for a second. Going to slow things down before taking aim at the mission area once again. As Squeakers, though, ready to keep things interesting. Big damage around the front there. Getting caught on here, wall, but will be able to fall back to their team.
We'll see here the Constitute come out. Bluebo catching the Squeakers. And Verixity just being so safe at the range here, playing that Jeff perfectly. Unk will come out. Jeff Prime gonna swallow up a Rats and swallow up Whoopers there. He'll spit out Whoopers. We'll take a Rats off of the point. Doesn't even have to spit them off, but still will for good measure. Verixity finding a Rats, and we can now see time starting to tick up here for Trinity. And of course, they'll continue to put this pressure on. Portal back here from Squeakers. Get on to the point, they might find Verixity here. Off guard and alone here for the meantime.
Yeah, looking to do what they can here at this point, eh? Looking to see what they can manage, and it's going to be managing the trade. But the trade is now looking to stay parade onto this one. Soul Resurgence up front. Oh, that's so big. Lock them in place. Clear the space there. They have all the ults they need. They will not concede the mission area yet. Fate of both worlds coming out from a Sunman here. Oh, the boundary as well. Exactly what you want. Good timing from your blue boat as well. They can take it easy for a while longer. Now the KOs are starting to flow in. They'll try to trade it out. They will succeed, but one and the same. They're finding even more for the Trinity Titans here. BSD Infinity Stones doing the best they can, but Trinity Titans just looking that much more menacing right now with the Seer online as well. They're trying to take it over, and they will capture the first mission area.
Now the cradle going to be taken by Trinity. We'll move to the carousel now. BSDE, some strong swap-ups there. I was going to say, Squeakers portaling them back towards the point, and then the Moon Knight came through pretty clutch there. Some great sleeps as well from Rats on the Mantis. They're playing the triple strategist now. We'll see AEL High. It'll be over towards the Gambit, and we'll have the Raging Royal Flush here for the carousel. Trinity, they need to be on guard, right? Of course, playing the one and only Vanguard with the group. A little bit more of an aggressive pick, I was going to say. BSDE looking Squeakers on now the Magneto. It should be a fun one to see. A lot of upfront damage potential with the Gambit.
Yeah, definitely can take a bit more presence with that one, I'd say. Having the Raging Royal Flush at the ready as well is going to be great, but obviously playing into the team up there, I think Squeakers can really elevate themselves with the swords at the ready. You know, they can try and shut down some of the squids if they're placed at some of those higher angles, and just really look to get a stranglehold on the game here. But we'll see how it fares as they're taking it slow. Look, they've got the aura walk towards the mission area there. The fight now raging on, and a gun shoot coming out, trying to create a bit of space immediately.
Yeah, but shut out immediately. I was going to say, just the way that Trinity were positioned, the Vanguards walk forward, the strategists walk back, and they were able to play safe now. We can see AEL High under fire, not quite able to get the healing out there for Squeakers, who's now left alone on this point and left to deal with the Whoopers with the Quadra. The point will be capped here. Whoopers going for a little bit of aura farm themselves, and BSDE now have to regroup and refocus.
Yeah, refocus, and to see they can catch another angle into this one. They can find a way back in, as all they've got right now is wow. They have 4 strategists right now, Tone, and they've got the Thor. So looking to take the VIP, so to speak, but all the VIPs around the back have been caught in a big hug. Strangling Prison coming out into the It's Jeff, and they take a big dive. On Proteus, ooh, they thought about it. They didn't activate it though. No need. And you're gonna be happy with that on the Titan side, Tone.
Yeah, I was gonna say very important pick up there with Verixity on It's Jeff. Whoopers. Verixity just kind of horrifying. I was gonna say just a lot of these two. A lot of love between them. BSD though, AGON will slip in here with the Invisible Woman. Now towards the backside of things. Needs to be careful though. Out of position caught potentially here for Trinity. As you said, Hornet Proteus was held for that last fight. We'll see now. Soul Resurgence come from BSDE, and they'll look to push on through. But Trinity, they're very scattered right now. Can't really isolate a fight here if you're side of BSDE.
Oh my goodness. And it is going to be the Raging Royal Flusher coming at you, Torren. They're ready with the Fate of both worlds as well. They're just enabling every strategist ultimate they can here to try and contest onto this mission area. But it just ain't happening, my man. They are not able to do much at all as the Titans rise up and make the Infinity Stones fall one by one.
Well, got a thunder though from Squeakers. We'll be able to find Edgeon at least, so it does say a little bit of a chip onto the shoulders of Trinity, but they're not scared. Invisible boundary, Verixity gonna swallow up the whole team on the point, and that will be Trinity taking hold of Krakoa in a clean sweep fashion.
Well done and well played onto map 1 of the Division 2 Grand Finals here. Yeah, I'm curious how BSDE can adapt around this. You know, they've found a lot of just crazy plays they had to deal with there. Varixity on the MVP as well in the, you know, Mr. Jeff, the new Jeff the Business Shark there costume. Love that one. Just unlocked that yesterday. Love it. But we are going to be seeing a bit more where that came from, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's a cool costume. And all business here for Trinity, right? I was going to say they got caught off a few times there. BSD kind of experimenting a lot with the composition there. We saw 4 strategists go into one of those initial fights, but Trinity, they weren't stumped. Domo as well, going to be on that group. Pretty primed, I was going to say. The Great Walls, the ultimate there as well, to start off that tap towards that 50% and higher. For BSD, unfortunate, they might have to, again, shake things up and kind of shuffle some stuff around. I didn't mind at all high there on the Gambit. Sunman as well, always a key to watch there on the Luna. But for Trinity, I was going to say it was business as usual, rocking the Animal Crossing comp with Invisible. And as well, Hedging is kind of, I was going to say, keeping everybody safe with those squids. And for BSDE, yeah, it's a lot to answer right now. I was going to say maybe we see a little bit more prioritization in the picks and locks here going into the next one.
Yeah, I think that they really need to reconsider their approach to the draft phase there as to what can bolster their own strengths here, because I think obviously they want to shut down some of their opponent's strengths in the same right, but the main focus for the BSDE side is really going to be just elevating their own presence there. So whether they want to shut down any and all dive-focused characters to at least bolster some of their frontward defenses would be great. But I mean, as we saw from that game, you know, when they had to deal with the Emma Frost, when they had to deal with so many things there, it was just chaos. Like, it was so difficult for them to try and pressure their way through. Like you saw, they tried to adapt time and time again. They even ended up with 4 strategists, Tone. Like, they tried anything to just ensure their survivability, but it just didn't work. So we'll see if coming into the next draft, they try and shut down some of the big problems that they were having and dealing with. And yeah, we'll go from there.
It should be interesting, right? I was going to say Kagane on that Moon Knight wasn't too bad when they tried to shake things up a little bit. We'll go to Yggdrasil path for the next one, Matt. So it feels very reminiscent of our last series here with the way these maps are going. If we go to Clintar third, I'm going to call something's going on behind the scenes, but I was going to say maybe just the favorite maps of some of these teams as we of course go to Convoy. Should be interesting, right? Because we saw in our last best of 5 especially, you know, the triple Vanguard composition came out. Maybe we see BSD experiment with that a little bit. Triple Vanguard, double strategist could be pretty good at holding off the side of Trinity.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if they are going to be able to enable a composition of that nature, you know, and if we do end up going to the symbiotic surface again, Tony, that's just going to be the fate of both worlds right there. You know, that's just insane how that would work out. But speaking of working things out, we are jumping into the ban phase right now. It's going to be the Trinity Titans with the first. Immediate focus onto Iron Fist there. Do not want to deal with that whatsoever. And fair enough, you know, if you're seeing that one of the players is playing into those melee-based duelists, get rid of it. Speaking of getting rid of it, we're getting rid of Jeff. After getting MVP for Varixity last map, fair enough. You do not want to deal with it, Jeff, considering how well it can destabilize a fight for your team. And now, they don't have to.
You don't have to deal with it. Jeff as well could do a lot of like chip damage as well if you're able to just line up that healing splash on top of your teammates, but as well on top of the enemies. So Jeff, yeah, very oppressive character to deal with for BSD in that last one, Trinity. They're taking away the Iron Fist, locking in the Emma here for Whoopers, I imagine. And of course, thinking about their next bans here, I was going to say Trinity with the first one to pull up to the plate. I imagine it will be a Penny, but no, they're going to take away the Daredevil instead.
Yeah, again, just trying to disable some of those melee-based duelists there. You know, they've seen maybe a bit of the aura of the Iron Fist, and now taking out the Daredevil as well. And maybe next they take out something like a Magic, something like a Black Panther. Definitely got to keep their eyes peeled, keep their eyes open to see what might be presented to them next. And very keen to see how things go into the next Protect here, as we're going to be slipping another one through. It's going to be Invisible Woman. And they will be looking to find another.
Yeah, Invisible Woman here for BSDE. Don't really mind that one. Kind of allows them to play a little bit more of a brawler comp, especially with the characters they probably wanted to play. Squeakers was definitely thinking about Daredevil. We'll see Widow Lock here for Trinity. They're all hovering it, so somebody's going to be bringing it out, right? So, you know, Hedgian lost his Namor, so maybe we see Hedgian on that one. Banning away the Gambit, don't mind that. Or the likes of Trinity. AEL High, you know, had a little bit of impact on that one towards the tail end of that first map thing getting taken away here for BSDE to close. For Trinity, a lot of stuff still up for the taking, and yeah, immediately going to be Groot Mantis.
That's it. Going to be a Groot Mantis, and great to play into a bit of the, you know, team up there, getting a bit more feeling over the top. Ready to see if they can seal the deal on a bit more where that came from. Very curious to see what else they are going to be able to bring through into this one. As they will jump back into the fray right now and look to give it their absolute best. But speaking of the best, let's see if they're going to be the best of the best. They're coming into this game right now, and they're ready to rumble, ready to go, and to see how they can flow their way in to each still path right now.
Get ready.
Very interested to see what they can find here. Squeakers on the Spider-Man.
It was my dad's. He died piloting.
I'm hopeful, but I don't know if it's going to be the recipe they need here. Considering the triple strategist around the backline, it could be tough. Very tough even, to get some of those KOs.
Yeah, probably just playing this one for that early pull off of the point here. Go for a quick environmental KO. Trinity. Be slow walking up, aura farming once again. And immediately to it. And of course, eyes on Squeakers here to go for this pull. Pulling himself off of the side. Does the Pulverix. Oh no, that's Hedgian, sorry. Tries to pull Hedgian. Damage is dealt. Sm1lez on the turret is pretty good at stopping this push from coming through. From the Trinity, they've got the BRB beacon. Whoopers is back, and Trinity in full fighting force here.
Full fighting force and ready to set this one underway. As they look to isolate some of the fights, so walls are ready, should they be required. But target has been acquired as well. No KOs as yet. They're still taking it slow, taking it easy. But one thing that isn't easy is stopping, is pacing from Trinity Titans. They've already pushed past the strategist there, brought back with the BRB, but now they're onwards to a Vanguard. They haven't managed to get the KO yet, though, which is rather surprising. There you go, Perixity now opens the account, and we could see more falling down from there.
Shuts down the Squeakers Spider-Man. Sm1lez just hitting on his turret and his choke, eating up so much damage, and will finally be KO'd there by Whoopers. 5 minutes now for Trinity on the clock to push, and a very strong start for them. Squeakers still going to be rocking the Spider-Man. We thought it'd, you know, just go for that one pull play, that environmental KO, and then swamp it out. Squeakers feels like they want to still bring it to the table, or at swapping over now to the Atom. Now they've lost the Penny team up, so interesting calls here from BSDE. Maybe a little bit more worrisome for them than we would have thought.
Yeah, looking a bit fearsome even, so very keen to see what else they are going to be able to do. Hand of Khonshu is up now as well, and there it goes. Immediate activation. Shut down everybody on the defensive line here. He can't do anything, Tony. They are getting just swayed away once again.
Swayed away. That's still on the high ground. Almost finding Perixity there. And we get the full charge right click off. For Trinity, they still haven't capped it fully yet. Here comes in Stunman. Gonna be going for the Punisher ultimate. Final Judgment Door's backline will be finding Hedgian and Perixity. BRB and the time ticks. The mission vehicle continues to go forward. Still, Stunman staggering them pretty well there.
Pretty well, and spell in trouble for their opponent. It's going to be Psionic Seduction up front there, trying to shut them down. They will find success there, so unfortunately, not getting much value from the Karmic Revival at all. They are Gonna be taking the high road on this one and ready to explode onto the mission vehicle. Just build up more and more time. You know, they're on the home stretch towards the final objective within the blink of an eye.
Yeah, portal potentially being thought about here for Squeakers for just a second. Starting to set up on the turret. Squeakers swapping over to the Captain America. How's the cargo day on the cloak and dagger? AEL High's like, I've had enough playing Penny. Not really working. Trinity seem to have my number with it. And we'll have a few strategies ultimately available for Trinity, but they're just finding these KOs. Cargo day was getting sniped out there, and we'll walk in ahead here, who's just predicting he'll come around the corner. Squeakers as well under fire by Sm1lez, and this continues to look good for Trinity.
Yeah, just looking good, looking even better and better, and doing the best they can to stall them out here. Rats, cheeky little angle, they get caught in the bushes though, so not going to be able to hide in camouflage for too long there, and it's going to be Trinity Titans continuing pressure their way up here. Freedom Charge coming out with the hand of Khonshu though, trying the best they can to stall them out. They will catch a couple of KOs, so too shabby. Needs to be more though. Needs to be more where that came from. They might be able to shut the door on this fight. Strangling Prison though could say goodnight to at least a few more. The damage, not enough to get it through, however. Sm1lez, okay. Not going to be able to make those motions. We'll see if they can get more.
Unfortunately, not quite able to get it done. AEL High now on this Moonlight feels a little bit more impressive than they would have led on. Trinity though, holding out the Khonshu. Assault Resurgence and the Psionic Seduction feels like a little bit of overkill. Sunman can't really do all too much with the final judgment. It will be Trinity locking it up for 3 with 3 minutes and 12 seconds on the clock. ESDE, unfortunate there. They started to find a little bit of room there towards that final point, but still Trinity looking dominant.
Dominant as can be, and they're breaking free with that one, Mr. Tony. So, very eager to see what else they can do here. They are going to be taking it slow, taking it easy for a second longer into this one, and see what else they can do into the next portion of this matchup, my man, as they look to make some changes. There's a big change I'm seeing. It's Whoopers on to the BP, and let's see. They are going to be able to wake things up for the Infinity Stones right now. They've got the Wolverine, which can be a great chance, I'd say. Great little addition to the composition there. And, you know, we decided we'd have a little portal between rounds to just give you a glimpse of me and Tony, you know, so you could see how we're focused up onto this one. But no, we're going to be focused on the game, everybody. That's what we're going to be doing, and very keen to see how things go.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? We got the Widow and Phoenix team up. Don't get to see that all too much. Trinity getting a little, I was going to say, experimental with the play they're going for, because with that team up, I was going to say Widow is now, I guess, technically a strategist as well. But Brixie's under fire, AEL High, sniping away the Crescent Moon Blades. And Benz will use that BRB to bring him back. Cargonate the front and center point here on the mission vehicle. But still, all of his damage being dished out here, just chipping away with the Widow. Chipping away with Hedgian as well on the Phoenix. BSD is currently trapped in their spawn, trying to get out. Hedgian's under fire though, needs to fall back to safety. And allows BSD a little bit of space to walk with.
There could be more space built up as well, as they are doing the best they can to just pressure up this mission vehicle right now. Good for the moment, but those Thornwood walls are just so menacing there. Just stopping them in place time and time again here. Gune and Co. ready to enjoy the show, but playing around a singular strategist, like, it has its pros and cons. The pro is that you can deal a lot of damage, but it's high risk, high reward here. And speaking of, they're already diving in on it. The KOs are kind of working out here, Tony. This could be the moment they've all been waiting for.
The strategist gone, Hedgian a little bit weak and taken out there by AEL High, so we can now see BSD start to walk here. Whoopers Indomie, they need to fall back. They don't have any strategists to keep them healthy. And AEL High is looking to go for the chase here with the Moonblades. But Domo will take him out a little bit over-aggressive. BSDE, though, they have swapped up the composition once again. Cargonate, the BRB beacon. Sunman's still going to be on this Luna. And for the side of Trinity, they can look to try and walk it back here now that they've got everybody in the freight. All will go up, strangling prison on top of the strategist. But Sunman perfectly lining it up here, but we'll see Plasma Rifle and the end song Inferno trying to deal with the Luna, but Sunman's the only one that gets away.
Only one that gets away, and they'll be able to set a lot of things into play. See if they are going to be able to put a bit more on a display as they take it slow, take it easy. A second longer here time, but just going to hold back for a second longer here. Big damage from the Phoenix up front. Headshot. A bit of a jump scare there. Doesn't manage to fall back, but it's the head of Conjure! Bringing up the damage here. AEL High taking them sky high. This is exactly the momentum shifter they needed, Tone.
And an immediate answer from AEL High. The Conjure's perfect here. Now stuck in a little bit of a rough spot here. BSD will be able to cap that first point. They immediately swap off the Widow Phoenix combo here. Engine back to the Moon Knight. But Rixity now going to be playing the Psylocke. Trying to dive onto AEL High, maybe get a little bit more aggressive, because AEL High's just been filing up ultimate charge so quickly and so successfully. Rixity's taken by Sunman. BSDE, they stagger out these KOs from Trinity. They need to put their foot back down here because it's getting serious.
Yeah, it's getting real serious, Tony. So serious, we could see the dance of the Cutterfly very, very soon. But we'll see how they will be able to fare ahead. Squeakers and Co. doing a great job of just bringing out the duelist aura as they slice and dice their way in once again. They've found a recipe and it's working so well, Tony. It's working. And you know, I think the dance of the Cutterfly could be one of the only things that could stop them, really.
We've got 4 minutes now. Headshot's getting kidnapped by Squeakers. Able to get out to safety. Whoopers able to find one on the Squeakers, but 4 minutes now here for BSDE. They've captured that second point. Another Conchu coming out here. Scattered the space from Trinity. Doesn't follow up and find anyone this time around. Headshot now able to fire away with his own Conchu. He'll be able to find Cargonate. Sia gets taken out. Trinity are finally able to stabilize there. That was getting out of hand. BSDE came back with a big fight here. And we'll see Darkchild, though, shut down by Whoopers. Immediately answered Trinity. In pretty good form now.
Yeah, in solid position to have managed to find a way back into this one and see what else they can do here. Squeakers is in a tough spot, but it gets even tougher now. It's the dance of the Cutterfly. Slice and dice in their way through. They will be able to find a bit more time in their favor. Stalling out the BSDE Infinity Stones here. There you go. Nice little reset there, but Infinity Stones, they're still in a solid position, Tone. They've still got the last stand, getting pretty close to the hand of Khonshu. I think they are losing, though. If they're losing their players. So, just like that, they've already lost Kagune, they've lost Squeakers there. And it's just a great form of resistance from Trinity Titans. Good usage of the Carbon Crush there. Looking to see if they can capture even more.
They shut down the Sunman. We'll find it. They've got Khonshu available for AEL High. He'll dunk that in. He'll force them into the room, but Trinity, they're fine with that one. They did pop the Strangling Prison on top of the Lunar Ultimate from Sunman. So fate of both worlds will keep Trinity healthy. Sorry, Seduction's not going to happen either. A Rat shuts it down. We'll find another double KO there onto Domo. And Trinity, once again, they'll lose Verixity. They're under fire now. They'll lose N-Bends here. Trinity are losing out this fight, and BSDE now will start to push here. They've gotten rid of the Vanguards. Triple Strategist, double Duelist seems to be their flavor.
Yeah, seems to be their flavor, seems to be their answer here. Let's see if it is going to keep them in good strides right now as the Seer comes online from N-Bends there. ready to bump up the damage numbers a little bit for their team here. See if they can see past them, but BSDE, Infinity Stones, still managing to hold on. They got a wall between them. Bionic Hook coming over the top there. Sm1lez in big trouble. Does manage to fall back though. Will be brought back with a BRB for now, but good KO from Rats. There you go. They found Hedger. Not going to be able to bring that player back. Cracking impact up front from Squeakers here. Trying their best to break in. They got a CO of their own into this one. Squeakers still going to be online. Still going to be shooting away here. Trying their best to see if they can prime ahead. Invisible boundary as well. Get ready. Pop, drop, and roll ahead as they will be able to capture a bit more. Not going to be able to get the boundary of their own here. This is huge, Tony. Somehow, some way, they're powering through this.
We're getting it done here. Looking for the dance of the kind of fly. It will be Brick City able to pop it. And just when they get low, they're able to find Cargone. They'll find Sunman, but the point continues to push here for the side of BSDE. Mission vehicle almost done. Trinity will lose 2 more members to it, but they've got their own Gonshu to play with. Edgian will snipe out that KO onto a Rats. They'll force them off the mission vehicle with 30 seconds left. BSDE, they still have AEL High to deal with here. He'll come around the back, he'll dish some damage up, but not quite able to find a KO blow. Trinity now looking for the KO in return. Whoopers will be walking it forward. We'll have 10 seconds left, and Sunman will have the fate of the both worlds just when they need it most here for BSDE.
Yeah, time critical on that one. They've already lost AEL High here, so doing the best they can to stall things out. Tracking the prison coming up front. Oh no, this could be hook, line, and sinker. All the ults coming out right now. Cracking impact up front. They're doing whatever they can. A plight of desperation. And just like that, the OT timer reaches its end. And it will be a victory for Trinity Titans on the second map.
Yeah, huge victory there. I was gonna say for the likes of BSDE. Almost getting that one done, almost bringing it to OT. Trinity. I was gonna say a worrisome thing for them. They're able to get it done in the end. BSDE now down 0-2. This is an unfortunate situation BSDE found themselves in, right? AEL High with this Moon Knight was extremely impressive there as well. Squeakers, the, I guess, backup duelist if you needed it. Yeah, double duelist, triple strat. BSDE almost got it across the line for Trinity. They played into the 2-2-2 a little bit more. And, of course, thankfully, had whoopers there. Beautiful dance of the butterfly as well from Brick City to shut that one down.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Tony. It's just a great answer to what they were bringing there, because BSDE Infinity Stones, they built up so much momentum. You know, they played in a Moon Knight, they had Wolverine for a bit there, they were just all looking like unstoppable, you know, and you think the best defense is great offense in this instance, and that's what gained them so much momentum, so much trajectory there, and they pushed it to the limit. But being able to play into that dance of the butterfly to deal with it was a big brain play from them, because what can you do to deal with that? Nothing. You know, you can't stop it. You just have to deal with it. And unfortunately for them, it just meant that it destabilized their offensive pressure over and over again.
Yeah, you saw, I believe, Squeakers, I guess, try to counteract a little bit here, trying to shut down Psylocke before they could get on top of the entire team. But Brick City able to pop that one just when Trinity needed it. And Matt, I believe we're going back to Clintar once again. So pretty much the same best of 5 in terms of the maps. Different teams, different vetoes here. And for the likes of BSDE, we can maybe see a little bit more focus towards those bends and picks. So I was going to say, maybe taking away Domo's group might be a very important one for them.
I'd say so, because even just across like different levels of competition right now, Groot has just been a presence. A huge presence this season especially, right? They've been doing a lot of great work. So taking that away from Trinity Titans could be big, but in saying that, there must be a reason why they're banning the Thing every single game, Tony. You know, there must be a reason why they're looking to take that one out of place here, because yeah, there's just a big possibilities. Speaking of possibilities, immediate ban onto the Penny Parker, considering the map we're on. Makes a lot of sense, because you do not want to deal with those penny mines. No. You and I have been on the receiving end of that terror. Don't want to see that, but I like this. I like this a lot from BSDE. They've banned out the Emma Frost. I feel like that was one of the big pieces as well to some of the frontward presence from Trinity Titans, because they just kept getting those carbon crushes through and just holding them in place.
Yeah, the shutting down that Emma's a big thing to note for BSD as well, but getting that Moon Knight through, would have thought Trinity put prio towards that one in terms of how much it had an impact there for BSDE. They'll take away the Groot too. We're targeting the Vanguards here for BSDE, and rightfully so, right? Whoopers and, of course, Domo, they've had some big impact in this series so far for Trinity. So taking away two of the staple picks for two of the Vanguards here, and locking in what makes them strong here. Moon Knight up here for BSDE. They'll take away the Iron Fist for Trinity at least, but curious to see what the lock for BSDE will be. Trinity, what do they decide to lock in themselves here? Because they've been targeted quite heavily.
Yeah, they've certainly been focused on, haven't they? And we'll see if they are going to be able to have a more ironclad focus into the last two bands right now, as Black Widow, goodbye, and goodbye once more to another one of our heroes. Who will it be? None other than the two-tap. No, it's going to be none other than Ella. Taken away there, considering the Namor protect there. Doesn't surprise me. Don't want to deal with that Deep Wrath team up any day of the week. What they do want to deal with is how they approach these players. So, now, you see the players adapting accordingly. We've got BP locked in for Domo Res right now. Would change, but honestly, it could just stay as it is. I mean, considering how they've been able to approach this composition, anything's possible, Tone.
Yeah, I prefer the BP here for Trinity,
Yeah.
especially with the fact that they can dive onto the squishier targets here for the side of BSDE. And as well, they're playing a little bit more dive-centric, right? You've got the Jeff that can heal from all the way at range. Gambit can pop that ultimate, and they can just look to run at them. And then you've got that stabilizing presence. Hedgian and Whooper's going to be playing more defensively in this frontward side of things here for Trinity. Maybe we'll see a portal early on as well for Domo, just to get them on towards the mission area. For BSDE, though, it's again the triple strat double duelist. AGON going to be back to the Moon Knight, though, so AEL High going to be relegated to the Lunar duty.
Yeah, going to be stuck in Lunar Jail this time. It's not Mag Jail anymore. It's a Lunar Jail. And we are going to be seeing the game open up to Portal Combat, Domo Res. They're going to go for the classic one. Yeah, they will. Right up the back of the mission area there, and ready to get things rolling. No one's there. Oh no.
That's expected, right? I was going to say nobody really expects the portal off of the first initial contact. Whoopers will be able to find AEL High. Now Sunman are a little bit under fire, and they can't really keep Squeakers up as they're getting chased down by a Magneto on his own with the help of Bluvo in the back. And Kagune, the remaining member up as Trinity make that capture quickly. 5 minutes 50 on the clock. I believe the quickest one we've seen uncontested for BSDE. Well, Kagune is now in a little bit of a rough spot. Needs to get back to the safety of the team. Sunman forced to re-res themselves with the passive. Trinity can just set up here pretty comfortably for the push.
Yeah, going to be able to put themselves in a pretty good place there, I'd say. Very excited to see if they are going to continue motion their way towards the next objective here. Domo Res ready to scrape through the back line there, and it does enable the opening KOs for their team. BSD Infinity Stones are going to be forced back with immediate effect here. And they're pestered to force their way in. Big right clicks there coming at you from Whoopers, but they might actually get caught here. The damage, not so good. There you go. They eventually get it. Later KO. Never hurt. But my goodness, that got close on both sides, Tony.
Yeah, got pretty close. The mission vehicle actually stopped pushing there. Kagune for a little bit of a deep dive into that one. We'll find Sunman. Domo will quickly clear him out. Trinity will continue this push. Hoppers is all the way forward. He doesn't really have to worry about anything, right? We'll see Squeakers go for a attempted ultimate, but is immediately shut down by the blade of Whoopers, who continues to push on through. What a Kagune. Domo has been careful though, gets back to the safety of the health pack. And for Trinity, well, another 6 minutes to push. BSD kind of just getting pushed back to their spawn time and time again.
Yeah, continuous pace there, you know, just time and time again. They keep getting forced back there. They don't have a answer, much like the last game they played here. But what I do like from BSDE is the fact they're trying to focus up around Jeff NATO here. Hopefully they can build up that ult percentage with great haste, because otherwise it could all be a waste here. They definitely need to focus up, lock in, and see what they can do. Henekonshu, good to force them off the mission vehicle for a time, but they gotta do more than that, Tony.
The Bastard set coming out from Domo as the strategist aren't safe at all. Matt Sundman at all high will fall. Domo's trying to chase on towards Kalgune on the Jeff. Kalgune is able to get away. Whoopers will find that KO. Bluvo too. We'll see Trinity continue to push this mission vehicle. It hasn't stopped since it left its mark. You see Horn of Proteus and just spawn camping here for Trinity.
Yeah, they're just looking to lock him down. It's Jeff coming out on both sides as well. Good eats, and it will be around done and dusted. Full distance push coming at you from Trinity Titans right now. They're going to be happy with that in every way, shape, and form. And we'll see how this next flip of the sides will go, Tone, whether there's going to be some changes coming through from the BSDE Infinity Stones here. You know, we'll see if anyone's going to be sneaking around the back this time, Tone.
Yeah, Daredevil's available, so the sneak around the back here is available for BSDE. They're going to run 5 doors. Alright. Trinity.
Why not?
Why not? Why not?
Find something that can work, Tone. Why not?
Why not? I would have thought 5 strategists could be the call for them, but...
Better yet, 5 Vanguards.
5 Vic, yeah. Got a Hulk in there.
Yeah. Oh.
30
Bag.
seconds before you attack.
Strange. Get it all, mate. They're playing into the... Nope, they're not. No change team up. But they are looking to do what they can with it. I guess having the Strange at a minimum means they've got a shield they can play with, so at least there's that. But yeah, otherwise it's a bit of a tough, place to be here, Tone. I hope that Kagune can get some sneaky shots, I'd say, around the front, because I feel like Hawkeye really shines in the neutral game before the ultimates are really built up. I'm very keen and curious to see how that'll go. Maybe they play into a cloak, you know, and then they can really take aim on that one, make their opponents vulnerable there with the deflection sword there, but we'll see what happens out of this as they're looking to take it easy with that portal.
Yeah, Adol High found that initial KO. Now he's trying to find Veracity here on the Jet, but they're being sneaky. So a lot of damage being dished out, a lot of blows being traded. Shot comes in from Kagune though. Sunman's found a few, so looking good here for the likes of BSD for the moment, but they will be capped up here by Trinity. They're able to answer back those KOs quickly. They'll come back to the mission area. Kagune going to be swapping over to the Scarlet. Arats now going to be onto the Moon Knight here, so 5 duelists once again for Trinity. The portal didn't really pay off for them.
Yeah, it didn't pay off, and maybe something else might pay off as Sm1lez just dives straight in. The Rats will fall accordingly there, so solid stuff coming at you from the Trinity Titans once again here. Adelaide trying their best to see if they can find a way in, find a way past. They will get the health back at least, but ultimately not much will be delivered here. So, very keen. Curious to see what else will be delivered momentarily from this one. We take it easy for just a second.
Yeah, take it at... Yeah, I'll take a little break, of course. Trinity, they're pretty much sitting comfortably here. BSD are the ones that are under fire. They've obviously opted to swap a few things. Squeaker's on the torch. Kagune going to be on that Black Panther, so he's looking to go toe-to-toe with Domo, who hasn't really had a crazy amount of impact. You know, I was like really hyping it up. I was like, oh yeah, BSD, they're playing a little bit more of a squishier composition. Domo can really have the impact necessary. A lot of these dives just not quite finding their mark. We'll be able to find Kagune at least, and they're walking it up. They don't allow Rats to kind of find these free snipes that he's been looking for so far.
Yeah, looking to do whatever they can into this one. A big hit coming through from Whoopers there. See if they can stall things out a while longer here. See if they can get stronger and stronger. There's only going to be 2 minutes left on the clock right now, and KOs just keep going in. Sm1lez does fine too, though. That's one way to deal with it. Almost a third as well, but well, they find two. That 2 turns to 1 with the BRB, so the hard work comes undone immediately.
And we'll see BSD actually swap it up. AEL High is going to give Hawkeye a go. Rat's now going to be on this Jeff, and yeah, he's just getting walked up on by Whoopers, who, you know, there's so much freedom to have as a Vanguard against a composition like this, where you've got some very strong strategists keeping him healthy, keeping him online, though. Rats, that's found a sneaking one behind here. Looking for Bluevo. Twig is looking for something with the Supernova. Bluevo's able to get away. Squirrel Girl ultimate from Kagune, but still Trinity, despite these ultimates getting popped against them, they're still sitting pretty healthy.
Still sitting healthy, still going to be bringing a wealth of passion, a wealth of energy into the fray here. Good KO onto Domo-Res there. Going to see if they can get anyone else over the top as well. We hold a Proteus up top, trying to destabilize. They succeed. Kagune goes down. Now looking for more as well. The Tridents could be good, could be great even. It's Jeff is available as well. They've caught Hedgen and more. Surely we can get something else through here, but I mean, with It's Jeff available for Verixity, it could be a big problem here. You know, no matter how much success the Infinity Stones are finding right now, still could be a bit more toughness ahead of us. Speaking of toughness, ooh, big damage. Sm1lez delivers in the end there. That is just so devious. They're just playing around the bubbles. They're just having a good time there. There's more where that came from, Tone.
More where that came from. Whoopers turns around, and I believe trying to touch the mission vehicle. It will be Sm1lez actually giving their best foot forward. OT will tick, and Sm1lez's on, and nothing Domo can do to stop about it. Squeakers will find Domo. So we'll go to OT here. Trinity giving it up, giving BSD a chance, it would seem. Unless they can get on and touch. As the Jeff 1v1 happens over towards the spawn side of things, the Rats gets out. And mission vehicle now claimed 2 minutes 30 on the clock here for the side of BSD to push.
My goodness, I can't believe it. They've conceded control there, and it does mean BSDE Infinity Stones gain a bit more momentum. So they're still in this fight, Tony. AEL High is taken through the sky high zone. It's Hawkeye! Triple KO! Barely got out of range for that. It's Jeff as well. My goodness. I thought they'd go, and they did go. Not the same way, but good stuff coming through from Trinity Titans. Immediate reaction there. Even if the SDE Infinity Stones gain a bit of momentum, doesn't matter. Trinity Titans are ready. Put them back in place.
Ooh. Good air though. Good pick up there on Zen Bens, and for Trinity, they lose a rocket. They lose a lot of their healing capabilities. Of course, they do still have Verixity and Bluevo. Looking at those strategists. Sm1lez, we're going to be seeing Final Judgment once again. But nobody here for Trinity really going to be peeking that corner. They're going to be hiding away. Verixity's like, I missed the memo, guys. Sm1lez walks up. We'll be able to find Hedgian as well. Trinity now a little bit under fire. Boss Ascent coming out from Domo. Find a Rats at least. The KO comes through. BSD, and they're not quite able to claim the mission vehicle here, so still only a minute left on the clock, and no more standing really being found here. Squeakers will pop Ensong Inferno. Still a little bit of damage for Trinity. They're all back. They're willing to fight.
Willing to fight, or willing to say goodnight. It's going to be the Reach and Royal Flush coming at you from Kagune right now. Trying their best to elevate their team once again. Here we go, Hunter Sight online. AEL High. Ready. Boom. Pummeling their way through the shield. They can yield some good results for the second, but they can't bypass Hawkeye. Order Proteus comes up front though. You're going to destabilize for a second, but that's all they're going to do. 1 second. No worries. What is worrying is the damage coming before them. And we'll see if they are going to be able to lock it back in, as there's only 17 seconds left to go. It's Jeff up front, Tony. They're trying to take him out here. Will they succeed? No!
Rats, unfortunately, is able to get away at least. Sear will come out from Nben's Trinity. Now with time on the clock, and overtime will tick for BSDE. Dymo trying to get the dive through, trying to get that KO, that juicy KO that he is after. You see Whoopers as well, just playing mag on top of the mission vehicle. OT will tick, KOs will come. Squeakers is trying to get back to it, but the Meteor's being charged up in time for Squeakers to get absolutely pummeled by the damage. Swallow will come through, Jeff time from Barixity, and Trinity will lock it up at 3. And they will claim the Division 2 Grand Final here, Matt.
That's it today. We crown 2 champions, and now it's going to be the Division 2 champion, Trinity Titans. And who is the MVP of this here map? It's going to be none other than Whoopers 3 on the Magneto.
Yeah, huge performance out of Whoopers there. Overall, throughout this whole series, right, just playing that Vanguard role super well. They took away his ammo. He's like, you know what, I'm pretty flexible. I can play the mag as well. And for Trinity, showing a ton of flexibility in the compositions, right? Hedgian did get target banned as well in one of those, and was able to flex off of them more, able to come back to it this one, and as well, the strategist lineup for Trinity. As we said, that Animal Crossing lineup is so hard to deal with, especially with Bluebo on the Invisible Woman. Trinity, just a well-deserved grand final victory here. Fortunately for BSDE, just, you know, shaking a few things up, trying a few different things, and none of it quite worked.
Yeah, nothing was quite able to make its mark there, was it? You know, not able to really take things in the direction that they wanted to there. So unfortunate, but that is the way it's going to be, my man. So congratulations to all of our teams there for taking all of their victories. Speaking of victories, you can get some victories with our sponsors. A big shout out to AGON by AOC, the #1 gaming monitor brand in the world. AGON by AOC provide best-in-class monitor solutions for gaming and all other needs.
And as well, power your game with the latest HyperX gear at Officeworks. Push performance to the limit with the latest in gaming tech, from high spec to precision gear. Officeworks has what you need.
That's it. And a big shout out to Indomie, the noodle partner, made with high quality flour and selected ingredients and spices. A plate of Indomie mee goreng will certainly brighten up your day. Try any one of the flavors available today from your local grocer or at indomie.com.au. Big shout out to each and every one of our sponsors. You know them, you love them. Big shout out once again to all of them. But if you want to check out all the AEL action, make sure you go to AU Esports League on all of our social medias there. That's going to be X, it's going to be YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, you name it. Make sure you go on and check it out. We've got all the highlights there. But speaking of highlights, it's been an absolute pleasure covering through all of the high school action here for Marvel Rivals Term 4. Sm1lez and TwoTapTony going to be signing off. Big shout out to Smiles as well for joining us for this season for some of the commentary. Definitely appreciate the good work there, and appreciate all the great work for everyone involved in this show. Players, staff, the like. You know who you are. We love you. And thanks so much for everyone for tuning in again as well. It's been an amazing year, and we hope to see you in the next one. Ciao for now, and have a wonderful day.